Hello everybody, it's your Wonderful Wind Mage, your Cruz Ship servant, Chartreuse Proxy, ever and always at your service now. How is everybody doing today? Today is a Sunday, it is May 18, 2025, and can I just say I am very tired right now. It has been a very long day when it comes to it overall, but I'm here to relax, I'm here to play games, and quite frankly that's quite legitimately all that I want to do right now, just relax and play games. So, I got something interesting on the docket then for a good little bit here, which is going to be a user-submitted VOD review for Omega Strikers, especially since I've been getting back into it recently. So, I'm going to cover that a bit. That will probably be, knowing my past VOD reviews, that will legitimately take up like the first hour and a half. I'm not going to even kid right there when it comes to it then. So, we'll work it out, But then we'll see if I want to play OS after that. I might continue grinding ER. Now, here's the one bad thing. I don't know if you can hear it through my mic. It is thunderstorming in the area. So, if the stream cuts out, at the very least for the VOD review, I am already holding the record button on my OBS. So, that will be preserved at the very least. You attempted to submit a video, but don't know how to edit it down to just the VOD. I would save that for late. I mean, here's the thing. The person who sent it today is quite orderly. They sent the entire VOD on YouTube. So, we're going to be watching that today. So let me pull up my Chrome browser on that end. So, I got a submission from somebody who I got to play with the other day, actually, Meowzoe. And I believe they're streaming OS right now, but after we talked a little bit on how they said, right, yeah, that me playing Rasmus inspired a whole generation of Rasmus boys and all, they decided to submit a VOD of theirs, of them playing Rasmus, because they wanted to get critiques on it or so. So that will be my plan for today. That will absolutely be my plan, to just chill out on that end. I save it though for later. I mean, like, look here. They sent the VOD of 6 hours, but they did just send it to me exactly where the Rasmus game is, so quite frankly, it's not like a problem at all. OS VOD review. Meow. Rasmus. Or Meowz, rather, when it comes to it. Let me put that right there. So yeah, if you want me to, I jokingly say roast, but like we've already been through this enough. If you want me to actually see if I can help you out on like certain gameplay and things or whatever, I'm more than glad to try to do what I can for us then in that case. But yeah, let's show out on this end. Let's do this here. Let me just go over the email just to make sure I didn't miss anything in particular on that end. They said straight up, they just want to take me up on the offer. Match starts around 6,000. Appreciate any feedback, whenever you have time. Yeah, so I'm going to approach this from two angles when it comes to it, as I've done in my past VOD reviews, which will be based on Rasmus itself and the game plan. Because I'm a very cerebral player. I recognize from my past VOD reviews that I've done it, and on how I like to play the game, how I like to approach and view the game. So to see how it goes then. You also note that this is a blind, of course. So let's open this up here. We are looking at Demon Dice, Kazan, Rasmus Luna, Aimee, Dret, Juno, Orb Replicator, Aerials to start on that end, and Magnetized Soul start. Let's get into the side of where we can see what the awaiting draft is for everybody.
I'm picking Slick Kicks.
Okay, so change that up. It's gonna be Slick Kicks instead. So, especially with the changes that have gone on from like compared to season 1 to season 5, so season 6 now as we are, for Slick Kicks versus Magnetized Souls, both are very healthy when it comes to it, but I feel like especially for Rasmus in particular, you're going to err if you have to choose between the two of them 90% of the time towards I don't know if that went through on my mic, but that was a huge blast of thunder. And a lot of flashing. This is probably the worst time for me to try and make content. But hey, if I get electrocuted at my desk, it's still an issue. Okay, going on from that. 90% of the time, you're going to be taking Slick Kits because Rasmus especially, let's compare it to, why would you take Magnetized Souls over Slick Kits? I'm just going to say this in a vacuum, not immediately on a critique when it comes to it. You need to be on top of the ball to be able to dribble it or to make use of your hard force abilities or so. So Juliet having Dash Punch, Asher just being able to dash dash beam basically or so. That's just doing everything. Zen to an extent doing everything that he wants to or so. Whereas you want to run Magnetized Souls when you have ways to cheat the core. Being able to blink backwards with Rose Warp for a spell, being able to put an anomaly behind you with Rune, even Imies with just having Glitch Pop or Cyber Swapping backwards and restriking it forwards instead or so, or restriking it to double down or so. Because it helps you transition between offense and defense on the line, whereas for Switch Kits, you're kind of devoted where you are, but if you get the core, then you are expected to run away with it. And if you're playing a character like I said, Rasmus, Juliet, Amy, whatever, who has ways to guarantee soft hard forces, Rasmus has a soft and a hard force in Whiplash and Pendulum Swing respectively, then you need to make use of that speed boost to be able to make sure that nobody else can get the core when you're running with it, and to ensure that you don't have to burn abilities as you're running up to be able to guarantee those hard forces. You don't want to burn your Whiplash on a 1-2 to cheat past somebody when you could just have more speed, dribble past them better, and then save the 1-2 Whiplash strike for the Dole Barrier, or for the Dole instead. So, here's the rep. On Demon Dice, I feel like I go back and forth with it so much on both Switch Kits and Magnetized Souls, but I think I've leaned more objectively towards Switch Kits, which is better, because even though a lot of the fighting happens at the midfield line for first touch, as you might think, or transitioning up and down, fact is, when you get to the dregs of everybody fighting in the corners up and down or so, you have to be able to put pressure on. And if you can't get behind the goal barrier, or at least up at the very top or bottom of the goal barrier, then the goalie won't necessarily feel pressured. And if it ever clears past you, then it's already past the midfield anyway at that point then. Whereas, if you can get it behind their corner, you have more time because they have to clear it either to you or clear it long, to which case your teammate can pick up the slot and you can keep up the pressure because they're already in front of their face. Otherwise, when it comes to the area, when it comes to what's his face, Demon Dice itself, just depends on how offensive the team comp is, because then you can of course lean towards Pummel's Vicious, whatever, but I totally would trend towards Switch, is what I'd be thinking, because if I'm seeing Luna otherwise, I'm not going to be able to hold the core as much on a midfield idea. You absolutely need to just be able to pressure and keep it in their corner, especially with how claustrophobic Demon Dice can be. When it comes to Orb Replicator for aerials, though, the Replicator always comes down to how you're feeling with your teammates on an extent, and if one of them's taking it, you don't necessarily need to grab it, then you should be griefing trying to get an orb that's just for energy rather than your teammates should get it themselves. And aerials is just good for Rasmus. It's an extension trait, it sends Whiplash, and to some extent, some people do like it, some people don't like it and I'm on the camp of don't, but it's personal preference and actually a skill issue of extending the range of Death Touch, because it's, remember, a projectile first and the creation second. So it just comes down to your preference on that end, if you like, or rather, how you also feel about your conditioning and just knowing inherently what the range of Death Touch is, for instance. I've been playing Rasmus so much that I feel like I'm agnostic more to the range stuff, unless I'm going for Core Strike Thief and the Rasmus's Treasure with Missile Propulsion to deny, or just to grief if I want to be really troll. But it's just about, this is not a note to not, it's more of just hey, recognize that you need to understand that your range is vastly different, and it opens up and even closes some plays, as you might overshoot sometimes.
Okay, it doesn't even matter. None of them even took Mag Souls, which means I should have taken it. Rats and ladders. Wait, Saya? What?
And to be fair, it does allow you to open up the way against if you go Madden Souls to work up and down the pitch, and with their composition, they have a lot of range. Luna, Judo, and Drek. Absolutely so. But it's just, you gotta index into one side or so. I'm not saying one's inherently right or wrong.
And why are they paying me?
So let's break this down what I've done with other VODs. I'm gonna watch the round first, just while I commentate, and then I'll review the round after things finish or so. Straight send downwards. Idea was it's either straight send down or straight send to the right, and then just play a second ball situation there then. That stat was not what I would have liked to do, but the pendulum swing cleared, so not necessarily bad at all. They're just a little, just on the wrong timing when it comes to it for trying to get the ball. Just can't do too much about it. Love the whiplash idea. Might have gotten buffered out on the hit right there. Let me look at that right there again, because the whiplash speed boost to get around to it. Right around. The Twitch Pop might have buffered the pendulum swing idea right there, which is a bit unfortunate. Main thing that comes to my mind is when you are playing Whiplash, when you're playing Rasmus, especially so,
Okay,
even
doesn't even matter.
even if you
None
don't
of
have any
them even
size
took
traits,
back
the main
souls,
thing
which
is
means
that
I
you
should've
have
taken it.
disjointed
Rats and lanterns.
pendulum
Wait,
swing,
Saya?
and whiplash
What?
allows you to just cheat if you're standing on top of somebody. So man marking is always something I'm very predominant about,
Help.
and like for example, I saw you trending backwards
Paya?
towards that
why
one
are they
pendulum
paying me?
swing, but you're second up with Kazan, and the fact is you have to present passing lanes to your teammates to try to help
should
out
know.
there. That's a fine pendulum swing on its own merits right there. And once again, yeah, that's just kind of like a you're just playing your odds. Can't see too much about it.
Oopsies.
The trend is kind of nice to use Whiplash to trend
Man,
backwards
I'm
because
gonna
you're getting
defend
back to help
against
support the
Saya.
line. But on Demon Dice, if the barrier's already lost, you're kind of stacking up on
Oopsies.
Kazan here. You're just kind of following him right behind him. I do see that the pendulum swing is there as an idea, but you could also, it's just a very small macro play. If you just trended up immediately instead, you could just challenge Juno to a 50-50 strike war and potentially save pendulum swing for the clearance afterwards. It does work out in the end, of course, that you stun Juno and it clears out. Una just, just gets blocked out by Aimee.
should
But
take
then you have
Maxos.
no
What the heck?
cooldowns to defend. You have no cooldowns to push the advantage, which, yeah, it's on the other side, but you can maybe your pendulum swing here, keep it in the corner, and then try to work something. It's just small things like that. Una moment? Okay, what? This is VOD review for Meowsy. If we're gonna talk about Una, let's save that for afterwards, and let's see how that goes then. But otherwise, like, on that point of, like, wanting to get in front of the
Against
enemy,
Saya.
because, like, the core is already on the other
Oopsies.
side of the pitch here. Kazan's already got the...
should
Well,
take him
I'd say Kazan and Una are already at the mid and bottom of it when it comes to it. So there's no reason for you to be just
Maxos.
kind of, like, trending... you to be trying to trending up to Juno by itself.
I should
You need to be
take him
trending
Maxos.
up
What the
and
heck
in
am I
front of
doing?
her. Because if you're getting behind her
Especially-
like this, you just let her win the 1-2 strike war exactly so. I don't necessarily mind following the core at the bottom. That's just kind of like your eyes are moving, just you're just kind of moving where your eyes are. But at this
should
point
take a
here,
Max.
yeah, that's a 360,
So
and
what
then
the
you just
heck am I
kind of
doing?
like you do have the right idea, trending up, but you go backwards instead afterwards. I think if you walked up to Juno herself when you did that, or when you did
should
the
take a
play
Maxos.
here,
What the
if you
heck
just
am I
walked up to
doing?
Juno, then you challenge her to a 50-50 war. Even if the Blobo gets to hit afterwards, Kazan gets to pick it up, like pushes it maybe to you upwards, which you get another 50-50, or pass it down to Luna to where she gets to make her play. But since you concede right here, you basically say, I'm not even going to try in the strike war. Juno gets the ball for free, and then she
Especially if
just
none of them-
1-2s you on that end. She can still 1-2 you on strike Blobo jump. The fact is, if the Blobo gets held, you literally might get your strike back in time, and also, you force out her cooldown way faster, because she gets to follow the core with you. She gets to follow the core with that right there, is the big thing, and then she gets basically another free war. Zod has to use critical leverage to put it back in the corner, but I'm just saying, like, it's small plays, of course, is what's going to make or break things.
There's so much.
Here, I don't mind this at
Stuff
all.
on
You're just
screen.
watching where Juno is, and then you're just picking up where the blobs are. This is just
Oh.
fine positioning. Like, actually, no notes. And then I think you might have just gotten buffered on your input from Glitch Pop
So much stuff
of
on
trying to activate
triple
Pendulum
rep
Swing when it
you
comes to
would-
Jet, but since you
should
got
have,
Glitch
I
Popped,
don't know.
it just threw you off on your
Maybe I
timing.
should
So,
have.
not much to say there.
Triple
That's just kind of
rep against
unfortunate.
triple-
So, just a little bit more forward, but you had a good plan afterwards to
Um,
mark Juno when
Juno bobber.
when
There
the
it is.
ultimate came out.
Oh dear.
Getting in front of Juno, I like that there. There you go. That's getting
help,
that's
help.
getting the idea for pendulum swing. Not sure idea was there. Def Touch try to steal priority. You like it. Love the burst
was
right
expecting that
afterwards
angle, huh?
there. The rebound is weird. Okay, that's just a
You-
Demon
I
Dice
think
moment
that
right
I
there.
need to
That is a 23-second round.
help.
Well, I don't think I have too many notes on that right there when it comes to it,
Oh,
quite
dear.
frankly. On a player or Erasmus perspective. Just, alright, first touch. Yep, you are right next to Juno, but Pendulum Swing is your disjointed strike button, kind of like a rune anomaly, so just burn it, use it, keep the pressure on. Straight send downwards, that's just, I was about to say, sorry. That's small macro stuff, but if you're just trying to immediately create the goal barrier, I have no complaints about it. It's just however you play it. Because I know I'm trying to force closer, or like try to like dribble it off and then force with an ability, but that's just me, and well, that's just how it rates sometimes. What I do like though is when it comes to it here, or this is the only thing I don't like rather about the set here. You have Whiplash, but you run in the goal barrier itself. I get that it's the cover down below, but Luna's already got it there. So I think if you want to put a little bit more residual pressure on Dret, and this is something to do in general, you run at them. Because you are offering a 1-2 strike, and if you run at him right now, you can potentially get 1-2 strike Whiplash, and you force his hand to pass a little bit sooner downwards to Luna to try to clear it. Once again, it panned out well in the end, but I think you could just be a little bit more aggressive. And this is both a Erasmus thing in general, and also just watching your teammates are. So what? The entire enemy team's at the top half of the map, and it's Luna. She can absolutely beat them for any points or so. Granted, she gets stuffed here, but, actually, no, she gets switch fire afterwards, but she still did get down there at the end. So that's just the small little thing that comes to my mind then. Otherwise, after you get the gold barrier, I love the burst immediately to... And I'm going to put the background music back on because I feel like it's a little awkward if I don't have that. I love the burst immediately to try to control the tempo and get the gold barrier actively on this end here. Where was your mouse pointer on this? You got a drip... Oh, no, you aimed up. Love it. Because that throws off the strike timing. That is very, very good game IQ with it. And then it's just a Demon Dice moment afterwards. Zahn got unlucky with the critical leverage, but then Amy got even worse when it came to trying to get the rebound. Very, very good tempo play. Very, very good tempo play with using your burst. Because this is something that I always chalk up to round 1 or set 1 things that a lot of people really don't like to pick up on, and especially like since everybody's on pretty even grounds when it comes to it, burst is so huge. Burst, core flip, however you want to call it. I should clarify. So the fact that not only did you get the gold barrier, but you just immediately pushed the agenda with it, especially with how everybody is basically almost at burst. I'd say Amy's the only other person with burst right now, but you beat her to it and she didn't feel like burning.
Yeah, no one was
so
expecting
that's
that
just
angle,
kind of like, hey, what? You got tempo, you're gonna be getting your second burst before everybody else uses their first, and that got you a goal. Whoa, well played. No bad notes about that besides the one run up with Dread. All right, next round.
I don't think Saya's ever given me a heart before. That must mean I'm bad. Pass to Meowsy. Oh, look, they nerfed Luna, okay? Things aren't what they used to be.
Okay, yep, fair enough then. Pull with Death Touch there is an idea. Back towards my Dread, good coverage there. Zahn does good stuff. His Popper Track missed, and then that's just a little too much damage on that end.
I didn't realize I was so low. Oh my god.
Fair enough.
Oh.
You recognize that you didn't understand that you were so low enough, so that's kind of unfortunate, but that just does happen.
Back team. Oh my.
I don't like that stuff from Zahn. Really good defensive
I can't even see what's happening.
plays right there.
Get
I
him.
love the pass back upwards though.
Lizard facts.
Okay, that pans out. That
so
actually
good.
pans out pretty well. Let me rewind that here then though. That's a pretty fortunate round, all things considered.
I don't think Saya's ever given me a heart before.
Force spawns at the
Must mean I'm
bottom.
bad.
Luna starts forcing things down.
Pass to Meowsy.
Small, just very, very small play when it comes to my mind. Even though your whiplash is timed out, you can still whiplash strike because the fact is, like, if the core, like, if you whiplash, like with the course on top of you, if you just whiplash and strike still, the core's still going the same way, maybe with a little bit more momentum, but it's just generating a little bit more energy. Just gotta maximize it, gotta min-max when it comes to it. Just small right there. If that was just a regular strike, it timed out. That's just, what, 2-3 more energy? But hey, your burst won last round, so there's no reason not to maximize when it comes to it. That's just like, even if, like, yeah, even if you have the core at your feet, you're losing nothing by striking it with Whiplash, unless the core is not on top of you, where you can send it at a bad angle then. So, maximize for the energy. Luna combo idea there, but... Okay, I'm just gonna look at the Luna real quick. Sister, you don't have Palm Warriors. What are you doing? You're Slick Kids, Luna. There's no reason for you to be burning like that.
Things aren't what they used to be.
So gets hit by the Blobbo. Death Touch pulls Amy out of the way and allows you to have priority, which Pendulum Swing then gets in place. Not bad at all. Crit damage from the Jet Burst, which pop afterwards. And then... Okay, yeah. I think you just getting hit by the burst just kind of threw things off a little bit more on how much damage you're taking right there. But that's fair. You recognize it. I mean, like, there's really not much more to say. That's just way more burst than you expected. What I do like, though, is your defensive metric. So, come up here. You recognize, yeah, of course, you just gotta cover Kazan when it comes to it. Win the strike timing. And then immediately send it upwards to a safe place. Whiplash activation. lets you potentially clear it here. I don't know if you're trying to hold on to the Whiplash, though, in case that you might want to hold it. But remember, it is your 1-2 Strike War tool. So, Strike, I mean, gets a strike here, but if you Whiplash afterwards, 1-2, it can probably clear down to the bottom right, and Luna gets the free ball when it comes to it for a boost play. But it still worked out in the end. It's just that, like, if you want to guarantee that the core is going to clear, you have your 1-2 button there. Because once again, Whiplash times out. You didn't even use it at the end to strike Luna, to strike Juno and Aimee. That's more energy that you're missing out on. So just always remember to try to be casting that whenever you can. And then Luna just kind of got the end of the play right there, so that's pretty lucky. And Sai, I feel like I know that name. I've seen their name around, but I don't know if they're a content creator that I recognize at all then. I just see the verified symbol.
How do you feel about this new patch? They nerfed
50-50 loss, not too much there. Luna missed her strike, so that's egregious.
Yeah. They nerfed
and let's watch the round, Let's watch the round and then we'll comment on it.
Yeah.
Tried to eat as much as you could right there. That is a time to where, like, it's not necessarily right to use Whiplash because you might just send it backwards.
I don't even know.
I do like the Death Touch play, though. Dribble? It's just the Demon Dice barriers, just, you know, griefing as always. Dribble opportunity, 1-2. Okay. Play was there. Good recognition. Pendulum swing to try and get it.
We need to play as a team.
Good idea there.
Together. Oh, I hit strike already. Okay, how do I use my hook?
Trends forwards and gets ready for hook. And you did just say, how do I use hook? Okay, yep. I love your recognition. Now just gotta beat Judo if you can. You're almost there to energy too. Just dribble it a little bit. You really are getting griefed by the Demon Dice cores angles right there. But because Aimee wasted her Cyber Swipe to hit you, Luna got to just barrel it in. Okay. Fortunate all things considered right there. So you did just say, how do I use the hook right here? So let's see how we could maybe look at it for angles. Otherwise, let's also go back to first touch. So 50-50 you lost, but Kazan picks it up, puts it down below. You just stayed in the middle line. I think you have turned it a little bit backwards, but you have just eaten more Firewall Sentry then. Just depends on. I think you were deliberately trying to eat it then, if you just ran into it after the summoning. Try to open the lane, whether you're trying to get through or just, you know, take some time. Now this is, as much as I've been a proponent of use Whiplash, even if it's timing out at the end, this is a very good case of when not to use it. I'm glad that you didn't, whether by choice or just not, just because you could just grief Kazan on that end. So yeah, just save the strike. And of course, like, I'm seeing that your muscle memory for trying to dribble it is good too, trying to wait out and get in position for your abilities. You're just getting griefed on the Demon Dice sound waves. Whether the core, I love the Death Touch here, because whether or not, if it hits the core, you get priority over Dretch, because that pulls it out of the way. Or, if you hit Dretch, then they're stunned, and then you can just have a 50-50 on them at that point then.
Did I even hit anything with that? I don't even know.
Okay, you did hit the core with that, and hilariously, that did drag it just enough with that one hit out of Dretch's reach, as you see right there. It's a good Whiplash fight either or, because the idea is there. You stun Dretch, and then the core, and then he was basically forced into one of the worst 50-50s in the world, Strike Wars. Or you drag it out like you hit right there, and then you just get full onus on it.
Did I even hit anything with that? I don't even know. Damn.
Now, no problems necessarily here with your position. You're just leaving yourself open, because since everybody's on this side of the pitch, you have to be just ready to receive the ball. And then you just do get griefed by the Demon Dice dribble right here. The way that you deal with the Demon Dice sound barriers, this is a map tip more in general on this end, because of how it pushes, you don't want to actually, like, with your mouse cursor whenever you're striking with it, you don't want to strike downwards or forwards like you would with a traditional dribble. You actually want to strike maybe a little bit backwards if you can, that way it drifts back into you. Now, this is a general tip, because in this situation here, you're at the exact midline to where that's almost impossible, but that's the general idea that you want to do right there. Because then, yeah, you just kind of got griefed by how the core trended further than you wanted there. Otherwise, you just, you know, try to get to the corner, but Jet just had a little better clearance. I love the idea for the dribble here, but I'm thinking, Jet uses Xenocloak here, so you might be a little bit scared. No, you said it a second later. I think you should have dribbled a little bit tighter on the corner angle here, because whether or not, because the fact is, like, as soon as you push it in here, you're not in front of Jet's face when you try to use Whiplash. If you dribble on the top right corner instead with Whiplash, you already have the recast on it, you're already in the top right corner, and you have a 1-2 guaranteed against Drek. No matter where he is with Xenoquote, fact is, you're already in the face, because the dribble's idea is good here, but look how much space you still have between you and the goal. If you just closed up a little bit more, then you could have definitely maybe eaten Dret's strike with your Whiplash, and then have your own strike be the 1-2. Be the second hit. But just because you decided to dribble directly upwards, instead of on the corner itself, you did make it an easier play for them to defend on, to see he had enough clearance. Now, to be fair, you could have just immediately thought with the Xenoquote he could just run up, locked and loaded away, and that's valid, I don't know what's going on in your mind, but abilities notwithstanding, if it's just only your Whiplash is the only ability that we're counting here, you need to dribble that closer to the corner. Because you can absolutely just cast Whiplash and then recast it like in less than like a second or so time, quite frankly. So if you need to get that 1-2 strike immediately, you can. But you just left too much out in the open with that dribble there. Muscle memory dribble, not a demon dribble. And yeah, that's what I'm just saying. Like, look, I see the muscle memory, especially with the dribbling, like, because that's dribble number 1, that's dribble number 2, and the ideas are there. Pendulum seems just a little off. Not really too many comments on that end. I love the trend backwards to be able to cover that. Just since, you know, Luna already tried to get it to you, and checked you out the first time, now you trend backwards to cut off the Juno angle, which is good.
Together. Oh, let's strike off.
If you did want to use your Death Touch here, though, the biggest thing about Rasmus, too, or Death Touch, is that since it's a lower cooldown than most traditional ultimates too, using it on Rip absolutely can destroy people's perception of how much cooldown that you have on it. So, like, I think here you really say...
Okay, how do I use my hook?
Yeah, how to use your hook. But the opportunity was right there.
Together.
Because, let's see here. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds.
Play as a team.
You try to get it outwards, but the whole point of the hook is not necessarily just for big plays, but just to immediately store priority. Because what did your cooldown next afterwards? You have Pendulum Swing right afterwards. You can literally just challenge Dret to literally send a Dret in front of his face and just 1-2 strike Pendulum Swing and stun him at that point if he doesn't have lock and load. Because if you just use it right there, then you would get the core priority, Juno would lose her ult, and you have your 1-2 against Dret.
Okay, how do I use my hook?
Because you hesitated there, you know, kind of that's a little bit dubious here, and then now we're forced into this defensive metric situation where it's just kind of floundering around. So you see, that's fine with the that's fine on one end to grab the hook. Muscle memory dribble again, but I feel like too, you have Pendulum Swing, you could still run it up. Okay, no, you got energy. You didn't get enough energy until you actually got hit by Aini right there. Alright, oh good then, oh good. I thought you would have got enough energy realistically before with that hit there. But either or, like, if you want to use Pendulum, if you want to use Death Touch earlier, you should have used it to just grab it. Because think about how doughy Rasmus is. Absolutely use Death Touch on cooldown just to make sure that they're the ones with the core priority. Don't be afraid to just use it on cooldown if the situation's right. Of course, it's a cooldown that enemies can count too. But the fact is, being able to have control of the core more often than not. Why is that a big thing in Sauter? Why is that a big for percentage? For possession. How much time you had in possession of the ball in Sauter or anything like that or so? Because that's, you know, the kind of the big core of the game, pun intended to an extent here. Of if you have control, you always have the way to push the advantage then.
And we don't even need...
Yeah, and once again, it's muscle memory dribble. I'm not gonna find fault with that, because you're just hitting Demon Dice Grief. Grief. Any other map, it would be fine, but you have the right idea.
No. Are the nurse that bad?
Okay.
They're pretty substantial.
So,
like,
Awakening Draft.
Kazan
Kazan is already Powerhouse Pauldron's goalie, so both diff makes sense on his end.
What am I supposed to do?
Twin Draft could be there, or Missile Propulsion for Dret, yeah. So in that case then, if it's an Aerials game, Twin Drive is absolutely certainly there.
Oh,
Specialized Training does not
You
hit
get
as much as it
anything,
used
yeah.
to, but also
You
like
can
Luna's
get
on your
anything.
team. So yeah, realistically that's fine either way. You're not really playing towards any... You're not necessarily playing towards any other strong win conditions otherwise. Twin Drive is there for the Aerials prot. Focus for CDR, that's, you know, if you like CDR, I'm high on it, but that's, you know, to your own preference. That could be the only other choice if you really want to really look at it then, because you're not going for kills. you are not, I'd say you're playing more for control rather than looking for kills, and quite frankly, it's not like your team has really been threatening for it. So it doesn't seem like Prize Fighter is really much of a choice here. And then I could get you red core hits with Death Touch if you're far away enough, and also if you want to deny it from Juno in a vacuum. But yeah, there's nothing too much to say about it, because otherwise, let's say if you were first in draft, build diff yourself, Kazan size notwithstanding, Rasmus of size, yeah, no note, and you don't take him on Titans, because you grief 2 of your abilities if you're losing size yourself with Blasting Pendulum Swing on the other side of the pendulum, I guess.
I'm gonna play smart, okay? I'm gonna take this Awakening, because I have aerials, and I should probably,
I was just listening right there. I like the idea, the Death Touch, but I don't necessarily know how neat it was. I don't know also, like, if that recast was fully necessary in that end.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
Unfortunate bounce, but good clearance by Kazan right there. There you go, using Whiplash even when it's timing out right there. Pendulum Swing to stun and cheat, good stuff.
You know what, good save by
Nice
Saya.
clear, but you're right there just watching your march. Ooh! Angel Raids! That's so fast! That's Rasmus Tet right there! Ooh la la, baby girl! That's nice! Ooh! You got some sauce with it, hello!
In a minute.
Alright, let's watch that bat. So, Death Touch immediately on round start. You have 2 uses of it. Whiplash on round start. Just speak the mark, yeah. Nothing about it. Send down for the clearance. I like the idea for the Death Touch. The idea is there, but I don't like the situation, rather. And let me explain. You're Death Touching up, but wait, nobody has the... Okay, Juno actually could get the ball, so maybe it's a reaction play. But you're sending it immediately back, like, forwards to Aimee. If you send that immediately downwards, you could really pitch it back up with your second Whiplash, potentially, because you're out of Aimee's strike range. Because with this here, if you send it downwards, the core's going down, it's out of Aimee's strike range, to where you can just beat Juno's Blobo and keep the pressure downwards. I see the idea for the 1-2, but Aimee's just on top of you, so it just doesn't seem like the right play to me. You could potentially dribble that down and then just leverage your cooldown advantage, because you have another Whiplash. If she's gonna start up her Glitch Pop, her Cyber Swipe, and I don't even know if she has it right now at this point, but that's just an idea if you want to win wars. Because the other, okay, yeah, so you're gonna use your Cyber Swipe. So at that point then, the war is won if you just pass it downwards instead. But the idea was there. Whiplash just to cover. I'm not gonna argue against that, about that recast there. There's a Juno ult, you're just trying to cover. I like the positioning here, though, just constantly staying, you know, trying to stay in between the lanes is not bad. Did you have to eat that Blobo, though? That is a very small semantic thing, but I don't know if you had to eat the Blobo. You were trying to just get closer to the end now. I'm not gonna argue against that. But good recast, just because, you know, you're not getting any value besides just hitting it for energy.
Oh. You know, good save by Saya.
And then once again, just good positioning. You are cutting off the lanes of influence, because Aimee has nowhere to pass to. Kazan's watching the goal barrier, who is at the bottom. You're just standing in between her and Juno, so there's nowhere to go. Just nice, simple. You don't have to be on top of her, you just have to cut her off. Like it. And then when it comes to, that's just clean. Just a clean ankle break right there. And Pendulum Swing for insurance in case it comes to it too. Yeah, that's just absolute Rasmus sauce right there. Just a nice, good cut on that end. Very, very good round, all things considered. Lots of good plays, just only one small semantic thing, but it worked out once again. It's just that, you know, for every small play that works out, there's always one that doesn't.
Oh boy.
Luna ult absolutely griefed. Hey, D3, set them on the Luna counter. The immediate round start into own barrier. Yep, okay, Luna bounce back. Okay, D3. Chalk up your Luna hate counter then. I don't see why you have to trend downwards, though. You just gave up the man mark on Aimee. Right there, and that forced the Whiplash recast out of you. I don't know about that Death Touch! You Death Touched it right next to Aimee, who has Door Flip! Now that is a bit questionable. Now I think you're just being happy of trying to use Death Touch just to steal control right there. That's just watching the burst right there at that point then. So, what can you do? You try to get it fast, but yeah. I guess the only other play then is just wait for the Crater to hit, and then strike afterwards, but quite frankly, that's a dream scenario. If I'm in that situation where I do that too, no, I'd also strike the core first, and then the Crater would probably hit. So yeah, that's absolute Luna grief. There's nothing about it.
Everyone. No.
Because it's that, did she hit it up? Did she hit it up too?
Smacked everyone. No.
You hit it! Sister, what are you doing? Okay. And then, yeah, you just boosted backwards. I think you just kind of broke your own mental there. But otherwise, covering. Was that trying to dodge the friend point? Because if so, that's good stutter stepping. And I like the pendulum swing just to disrupt at this point then. Now here's what I don't like. Why did you trend downwards here? Why did you trend downwards? Because, right, if Drek has a tight angle, you can still man-mark Aimee when it comes to it here. You just need to stay on top of her, because the biggest torrent swing is straight, is just in the corner, top right. If he sends it straight, Luna potentially has a whammy, I'm guessing off cooldown at the straight here, to cover it, but instead, because you trend it downwards, you have to use your strike to contest Aimee, and the Whiplash just didn't get to push the core forwards on that end then. So I don't like that. See it? I think they thought the ball would bounce down or get knocked down. I still don't see it, but fact is, I can rant about Luna, but we're looking at Rasmus gaming here. But otherwise, like, yeah, if you just stayed on Aimee right there, just stay in the man mark, because you, once again, Whiplash gets you cheat a strike war anyway, and Pendulum Swing would let you cheat a strike war. You are absolutely, because you have enough of a disjoint with Death Touch anyway, / Pendulum Swing too, that if you have to get off somebody, you just leverage that instead. Just stay on top of them, and stay more aggressive on the positioning on enemies is how you'd want to play it more. And then this is where it gets dubious for me.
You might not win this point, team. Ooh.
So, I don't necessarily mind that stutter step back and forth there. You just missed a strike just because buffer a little bit there, so not too much. I see the idea for Juno, for deny it for Juno, but Chazan has his burst as a potential defensive measure for that. Whereas, if Aimee just immediately presses the burst button right here, Chazan is not reaching the bottom left there. Granted, it passes back up to Juno at this point here, and you do try to cut off the angle to Aimee. The fact is, it got to Aimee at the end of the day, and the Death Touch kind of accelerated it, I think. That's just... there's the idea for it, but... So, Rasmus IQ is still control from the corner, good. If Aimee didn't have burst. But, because she did here, that's awareness difference. That's awareness difference. Because here's the other thing, so, because on that awareness scale, you hear it in my VODs all the time too, of every time a set resets, I'm trying to track who has cooldowns, probably coming up. No, I'd either don't have cooldowns, / who has energy. Because when everybody starts to line up, like ready for the opening round, you can immediately see, for instance, who has burst. Zahn has burst, Dret's basically gonna have burst, Luna's basically gonna have burst. What about you compared to the other two forwards? Juno and Aimee. They have... Juno has enough for an evade, Aimee has nothing to just use, so you can maybe leverage that for damage, or just say straight up, hey, I'm slowly gonna win this war when it comes to it. Fine idea there.
Okay.
Won the Blobbo.
Wait.
You even got the orb too, which is nice. And the pendulum swing got a good stun too.
Okay, and then, oh, I missed.
Trying to be predictive with the Death Touch. I heard you saying and then, so not bad at all. And eating the Firewall Sentry. I like that idea too. Luna just didn't get what she wanted. Good idea by the Death Touch right there.
Wait.
Should you press your Drek actually? The Xenocode's there. Trying to play more instead for the play. Oh, that's so grief! That's hilariously grief by Juno actually knocking you into stunning Dretch. That's hilarious. Holy crap. Okay. Lots of small things that round, but it worked out again, hilariously. So let's go back to the beginning one more time.
We have an OSAS champion on our team.
Really? OSAS champion? Well, that's hilarious. I mean, I recognize at least names in the lobby, but I don't follow the circuits at all, so that's beyond me. So, Whiplash to just, beat the Juno March. No problem there. Waited out the Juno Blobbo hit. Pretty good. And then I was about to say, so do you get the orb here? And you do, which is huge for your stagger. Of course. And then, yeah, good Whiplash when it comes to it right there to pressure. Now, once again, I think this is just me seeing it as a Rasmus main. versus like people who like I don't know your main, quite frankly. To be honest with you, I'm gonna guess Ivy from just start the name, but hey, that might be stereotyping. But just immediately, if you def touch right there, you'd probably beat Imi's cyber swipe, and then you can press the burst button and just challenge Jet to a war. Otherwise, they're trying to predict where the core could go, but at that point then, if it's between the enemies, the best bet actually is to actually just try to def touch the enemy who has the core, or def touch in between where the passing lane is to try to steal priority from them, because that cuts off a lane and lets you stay in the goal mouth of the enemy. But trying to trust to go to a corner instead, that's bad conditioning. You need to just actively make a play in where the core is right now, rather than make the play for where to luckily go. Because if it goes to the corner anyway, then it's just you versus Drat at that point. So just play towards where the core is. Because if you're not sure on what you want to do with it, or with your def touch, you just want yourself cooldown, just send it towards the core. You're either gonna get the core, or you're gonna stun somebody and pull them out of position.
Okay, just stay calm, Miyazu. Stay calm.
Otherwise, once again, eating the firewall sensory deliberately to try to make sure that it stays in your open lane, no problems there. And then pendulum swing was a good idea, followed by trying to walk up to force Jet's hand earlier. Just good simple pressure.
Meow abilities. Wait.
Then you're trying to stay open. I very, very much so like it. I was talking about pressuring Dread potentially because you have both Whiplash and Def Touch coming off cooldown, but you are playing more cerebral, just trying to prepare yourself for the angle. I like the idea here. Sending upwards. I'm just thinking to myself, it's like, you know, any other small micro play. Because if you want, potentially, the other idea that always, that you can do with Rasmus too, is you could send it bottom right. I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor. Bottom right, so it'll naturally bounce upwards, and then pendulum swing into it to guarantee a stun on Dread. Because let's say if you send it bottom right, if Dread has to clear upwards, then that's gonna spend more time for Juno to get it out, or otherwise she has to just strike it afterwards, and then she's not in a certain position. Whereas if it goes all the way up, Juno's already up there, and she can receive it faster. So just alternate angles, but either way, it still worked out because Juno friend flinged you, which put you in position to stun Dread, which never would have happened if you didn't get friend flung by Juno.
Okay, you know that worked. That worked. That stun actually worked.
So that's just unfortunate for Juno right there. Yeah, that's how they got moved south, D3. Just friend fling actually pushed them when they were already casting Pendulum Swing. Alright, 50-50s. 50-51, now with Whiplash trying to cast it there. Again, didn't cast the end of Whiplash. That's just missed energy as always.
Chat Maxels, this would be great.
Yep, send out Lawn, I like it because you don't have cooldown, so no reason to try to force something, just get it on their side. Pendulum Swing, don't know what that was about necessarily.
Oh my god, what happened?
I don't know why you had to trend backwards there too. After you used Whiplash. I feel like that's maybe just kind of like a... I wouldn't say panic, but more just kind of like a I need to do something things here, so let me look at this. Also, I realized my mouse cursor was in the middle of it there. People probably will get annoyed in the VOD about that. So the first war is not bad. Def Touch tries to get the core, even stun the goalie. I do this all the time on Demon Dice, not gonna argue against that. I don't like the send straight to the core, straight to the goal barrier here though. Because you already see the firewall sensory at this point. Or rather, okay, it's just 1 second, so I can argue against it. But I think the better thing would just be send it back down to the corner to where Luna is. Because that can time out the firewall sensory instead of having it carry. And then, you know, you get to hold pressure. You do say sorry, so that is recognizing. You know, you recognize it, not gonna wonder. I don't like the positioning here though. You have to just get it on. You have to get it out of your side then. So why are you trending towards the middle? Just mark Imi or mark Juno. I see that you are keeping yourself open, and it does work out. But I feel like you could just, at least for me, like that's banking on you winning the war. And to be fair, Imi does lose the war, but if you didn't lose it, then you should have been a third strike player when it came to it. It's just my point there. But still, I'm always gonna argue about things in a vacuum because these are the situations where it did work. If it didn't, well, you could have lost the barrier quicker, and then that could have been the goal quicker afterwards. Otherwise, pendulum swing, I just don't know what was going on there. If you're trying to send it upwards, or if you just try to fat fingered it. Excuse me. Are you trying to cover in case it bounces on the corner? after you use the Whiplash here, because in that case I can get it. Luna did press her burst, and then she waited it out, and then lost the war on that. Wait, did she burst tech, and then not realize that the core wasn't where her feet was? Oh, no, okay. She just bursted, and then, yeah, she just didn't see where the core was.
Oh
yeah,
God,
no, that's
what?
absolutely just a Luna moment again.
Oh,
Yeah, no, yeah. Luna used burst, and she just didn't see exactly where the core was. I'm not necessarily going to chalk that up to Luna, because Juno did get a hit first, which pushed it a little bit further, so that did screw it up.
happened?
So, that's just unfortunate on how it came to be. Ah, well.
I could have said that. Oh well.
But otherwise, like,
It was
yeah,
probably
once
not
again,
even-
too, like, just that one step on the fire, essentially, but you really saw it.
What happened with that core flip, huh? There's something happened.
Yeah, like, in any other universe,
happened?
the patients would have been fine then, but Juno did just
I
get
will
to
take-
cheat a little
No,
bit there,
I
so that's
didn't do
unfortunate.
anything. I'm just dying now.
And, well, that's absolutely just a drowner. Oh, what's the story? Sorry. I think I might have zoomed in too much on it then. Might be. There we go. My bad. I was a little bit too zoomed in. Yeah, cause that's the end of the set with that drown out, unfortunately. Patience was there,
I will
and
take-
then
no,
you had no onus otherwise.
dying
You're
now.
scared for your life in case,
Oh my
but
God.
I'm sorry, so you can't really do too much, and then yeah,
Let's
Juno
hope
just
they
have to
don't
send it in.
scale too
Yeah,
much.
you did have too
They
much
have sparks,
too much
and
there
that's
to
how
do on
they're
that
not
set.
going to sparks.
It's not that you could have done too much more. I guess you could have
It's
hit it
like
on the
the arrow,
backboard to
this
wait for
is
pendulum
fine.
swing, but
What's wrong?
that's such a small
Okay.
thing. It's not really
They
much to
won't
say
remember
there.
They have sparks, right? Right? Hmm, they remembered. Okay. Well, in that case, actually gonna take side. No, I want this. Give me this.
Fighter fight then. You haven't been centered too much, but it is didn't use the compound with split kits here. Luna takes recovery drone to make it for her own size.
I don't need side.
I don't necessarily mind fighter fight because it's always just been a solid awakening, but I do think that for you, just taking recovery drone itself would have just been fine for the size, even if not for the KO on that side there. So that's just kind of there. Alternatively, when it comes to it too, like, cast to last could extend your whiplash even more if you want to let that go longer. That's an idea. It's an idea, but it comes down to it. At least for first pick priority, though, I would have done recovery drone first, fighter flight next, probably then. It's that, or if you feel like you're getting good enough hits, you can take hotshot as both a good trait for you and a denial from Juno then.
Kazan has size.
So it just comes down
Has
to
the
your
speed.
thoughts there, but I
He'll be the
think size would
fastest
still take
Razz
priority.
player in the world.
Just once again, like, when that's something that affects two of your abilities, and
Except-
awakening affects two
wait.
abilities rather than just one from like most, that's pretty good. Patience idea here. Trying to get the orb? Yes. Nice play. I don't know what that hook was now. Dret griefed by going back for the orb right there. Covering the Lawn Angel, I like it. Didn't use Whiplash again though. Just for the energy at the very least.
Oh dear, that hurt a lot.
Yep. Trended there. You absolutely have been saved. Staying in that corner there, try to hold your life. And Kazan swapping with you to where you take over goalie position while you're low on stat. I love it. That he just plays forward and lets you get the orb and regen more. He tried to hold. I didn't see if you had to press the evade button there. Good cut idea there, just didn't get it off though.
Well, that's why we take recovery drone, right?
1-2 from Luna failed, unfortunately, and then getting griefed by the sound barriers, as of course, as always.
Oh no! Wait!
Oh,
my God.
good recovery. Patience.
Oh.
Oh, Luna's just off on the angel, and she wasted her whammy too, and she sent it straight to Dret
Oh.
too. Oh, goodness gracious.
I can't get. Oh my God!
Oh, she's losing it. Kazan's trying his best for his life. Oh, it's so. Oh, goodness.
Wait!
That is a fumbling, I feel, but we're analyzing Erasmus. Okay.
Except, wait.
So Luna just misses. So Whiplash to cover it there. Again, Aimi's Firewall Sentries are just really griefing your timing there, which is unfortunate. Very least you get the orb though. Now I don't know what you were trying to look at. Like, I mean, look at your mouse cursor. Touching up. You already got the gold barrier then. So I just don't know what was trying to go on there. I think your mind might have been behind thinking, rather, if they got the strike, it would go upwards, and you're trying to prepare your death touch for that, actually, because it did just kind of drift into the gold barrier. So actually, no. Logic is there. It's just, once again, it just kind of stumbled into your way. Love the idea, and then I don't have any qualms with this necessarily, because you are cutting off the angle, but I think you went up towards the middle a little bit too much. After you cast the Whiplash, if you just stay a little bit more on Aimee herself, because Luna's going to receive the ball no matter what. You just need to make sure that Aimee can't get a strike then at that point. So she got a free 50-50 because you went off of her. Whereas if you're sitting on top of her, she's still not passing either way. You have 3 strikes. Luna's, your strike, and your Whiplash then at that point then. So I see the idea for cutting off the angle, but for turning off the passing lane, but you could really just hug Luna right there, because you have the corner there, and she's guaranteed to receive the first touch. So you just need to cover her, because then, if you just have to win the war, then you get Pendulum Swing right afterwards. Idea's there, but Razor's positioning, you just man-mark more. Man-mark more. That's the main thing we're getting taken away from this here. That, playing careful.
Oh,
a little too much damage, and then, evade after seeing that in case you get comboed. I'm not gonna argue against the evade. I do that all the time, too. Fine enough. You got your stagger back, which is great. I don't mind the send upwards here. I don't mind the death touch necessarily, whether it be to stun Juno or get the core back in your favor. Let me look at that Whiplash again. Yeah, fine, 1-2. You strike first. And then Whiplash to cheat again.
Oh,
didn't get the right timing, that's totally fine. Right? Very good patience, though. And then, yeah, this is just where it starts to get wacky.
Christ.
So Zahn doesn't get things.
Oh, no.
You are standing in front of Juno, though, for the 1-2s. Great stuff. Trying to cover for Kazan, but waiting to let him strike potentially if it comes to it. Great, just game awareness in general. Don't grief the goalie, let them do their work. It comes to Luna, but she's just off on her angle, probably because she's trying to hit direct with the Trader. Yeah, probably. So she's just off on that when it should have just done it. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Death Touch and thinking that they might clear on then, but I don't like Death Touches when it's prospective like that necessarily. Because if you get the Death Touch immediately here, Aimee's still in front of you. Whereas, for example, if it went upwards already, and then Judo tries to hit it towards her Blabos, you can just cut it off. Cut off that lane then. I guess Aimee's still in front of you, but that's just how I would use it otherwise then.
Oh, I tried.
And then that's just a little bit off.
I can't.
And then Luna challenged Dread, and it's fine. And that it's fine. I don't necessarily mind the challenge because she has her boost to try for it. There's also a teammate right next to her too. Well, it's fine. What? Angel was just a little bit off, and then also Jet won the 50-50 with watching load. And then Kazan, he had heroics there trying to save it, so not much to say.
What the heck is
not much to say past that note, is what I'm saying here. Alright. Flash. Wasn't ready for the send, but can't argue about that. That just happens. Yep, dragged Aimee out of the way so you beat her on the mark. Lovely work.
Whoa.
Good core holding. Dretch hit. She's at 50 elves now. Love the tempo burst. Love the tempo burst. Just keep it on there. Keep it in their corner there. Now, we need to look at maybe killing Aimee. Good stuff. Luna used her burst for it, so power play. Okay, power play denied now. Now it's just about don't lose the barrier. Don't lose the barrier. You just gotta get it out of your side. That's a bad send, but you recognize it. You recognize it. Gotta just play on Aimee. Gotta play on Aimee. Why are you peeling off? You need to follow the core. You need to follow the core. That's egregious. That's egregious. That's egregious right there. Why'd you peel off in the passing lane? Nobody has core control right there. That's an egregious positioning. Okay, going back to start. Luna got the send to you. You just weren't ready for it. Literally nothing you can do. That's just unfortunate. I like the tempo play here. That way you beat Aimee to the march. Whiplash casted late there, but the idea was there, I will say. Whoa. And then, even if you have full burst, like, you still get to push for damage if you just recast Whiplash there. So, understand, like, I will keep harping on it. And I'll keep pointing it out, but the fact is, like, you know, that is just missed energy / damage potential always. Now here, once again... It's a minute thing. You're covering the bottom, but if it's gonna clear one again, and Imi's already there, so if you go up top, then she just clears it straight. But that still goes to Luna, potentially, so I still don't like on how that came out to be. That's fine. Otherwise, defensively try to hold Luna, Juno to things. Luna uses her burst for it all, and then that's just how it starts to pan out. And then, yeah, once again, like, there's nobody at the bottom right, or at the bottom half of the map entirely. Why'd you send it up towards Imi, who gets a guaranteed strike war win? You recognize it, that's fine once again. And then you try to correct your mistake, you try to send it downwards. Now granted, the Molten Bolt absolutely should have destroyed you if you did hit it there then, and that would have broken mental more, but heart's in the right place. Now here's the fault. Yes, Jet uses Zeta Cloak, but why are you going away? I guess like, so you see, at the very least you see Chazan hitting the core. I'm assuming that you're still trying to cover for if Jet sends it upwards. But why wouldn't you go up? Like, you just gave up control on that end. Jet just got a free send on the corner, and then now you're just not even in any right place. As if you were at the bottom then, when the core goes downwards, you could maybe still contest Juno once he respawns. Yeah, absolutely, with Whiplash, you would be able to here, but since you went upwards, covering an angle that it never would have sent to in the first place then, Juno got a free hit, and then it lost us the round. I say us as if I'm playing the game here, but just follow the core then. What's Jet gonna do? If he passes it upwards at that point, then it's kind of lost, but he's already out of position. But he's gonna be on top of you at that point, to where you have a strike war to win. You just peeled off the core for no reason there. Let me take some water with this here. And also, the rain's coming down hard now.
This is fine moment. There's a lot of this is... No, it's all fine, trust.
Alright.
Fine.
Pendulum swing past Luna. I keep saying Luna instead of Juno. I don't like that death touch there. But we'll comment on that later. That's a straight send. I'm surprised it got passed. Notwithstanding Imi's own burst too. Good slip from Tazan. But now you're about to die. No more energy as well. So the best thing you can do is just stay on their side and force issues. Follow up on Luna. I can't believe you didn't get hit by that. Yep, strafe around. Cause issues, but don't jump too close to the edge! Nice stuff. Tazan's trying to watch. Tazan's trying to rotate with you. And that's just rough. You just got timing because you were so close to your own stagger there.
Our carries will carry. Right. Surely. This is
Straight send. Luna gets the cover.
They're gonna carry right here. Right now. Right.
Straight send. Luna boost. Love the angle. That's a fine Luna play. Fine enough then. Fine enough. I think enemy griefed are positioning right there, just not being receptive to covering. But let's look back at what happened before.
There's a lot of this is no.
So pendulum swing for first touch absolutely made sense. I'm not gonna argue against that. When it gets the bounce, I don't like it. Like, what are you trying to do there, though? Even if you get priority with the core, you still have to go through Juno and Imi at that point then. So I just don't like that. Whereas you could just cover it with your strike and you still have a Whiplash cast at that point here. I just don't like that. Otherwise, this is a little bit questionable to me too. At the very least of like positioning, like, no, this is just me. You already see the orb spawning, and you already see that it's kind of clear on that way there. Unless you're gonna eat the Firewall Sensory, you just lost a good 7 energy on not getting the orb at least, which actually could have really helped you for when you get low, and then you would have had a little bit more energy to evade for a second time there, thinking about it.
I need size. I should.
Now you just get combo to Oblivion, which kind of sucks, quite frankly here. So, if you're stacking in Demon Dice, you just stand on the enemy goal barrier itself. Just that's the middle of the map, it forces them to play on their side of the map instead. That's just a Demon Dice tip in general. Otherwise,
we don't need it.
What are you trying to accomplish with the Death Touch right there? At that point, Death Touch the goalie instead when the core is going at them, so you can just disrupt their hit. Or you can just get the core if you just send it, like, if you had Death Touch still, if you send it immediately upwards, you get to cover the passing lane, or you get to just hit Dret with it, and maybe just, like, it really just timings him. Pendulum Swing, I don't see either two. The pressure's already gone in this situation. No, you thought it was coming your way. I'm not gonna argue against that at that point then. Now here, though, is where I'm thinking it could get all dubious. Do you think you could have, with your Whiplash here, while it's on the enemy side, as soon as you see it hit this bottom right here, Whiplash, run back to your side of the map and get the orb? Because remember, too, no more orbs are going to spawn until all of the previous ones in the last wave are there. Because now you're still staggered out, you're still waiting out your time, and by the time that you actually do try to get a trend back for the orb, you're dead. So, Temple plays ideas because you're giving up space at that point then on the map, but that's your survival at stake, and it's on their side. They're not going to push it too much, especially when there's still a barrier on the side of the field. So you just got bailed out a little bit there.
I'm sorry, Flame Killer. You have to carry now. I'm dying.
Alright, Whiplash to start. Yeah, just beat Juno to it. Not bad. Death Touch on Dret. Love the idea here.
And then the other one. And then now.
Taking more space. Predictive Death Touch. I don't necessarily like the predictive Death Touch, but the pendulum swing rather, but it's fine. Whiplash recast again. Should have just gotten some energy out of that by like hitting Juno or so. And just holding your line right now. Get the orb at least! Okay, I see the defensive line, but get the orb, it gets you stat, it gets you a little bit more energy, potentially.
Okay.
Good! Slip backwards and crooked coverage, but Amy has burst.
Need to... Oh, God.
Oh, but that's a grief!
Oh.
I know you're trying to cover for Amy right now, but this is awkward. Good hit there. Death Touch is still priority. I'm not going to argue with that with how this is kind of the miasma of the round right now. Whiplash early. Good. Just challenge with that since you have to strike 1-2. Fine by me on that set to end it. But we need to rewind a good bit back to analyze it more.
I'm sorry. A thirst.
Alright, so cheat past Juno. Nothing bad there. Was Whiplash timing out?
I have to carry now. I'm dying. A thirst.
Whiplash was timing out, so he tried to strike 1-2. Yeah, no complaints there. Yep, good Death Touch. Once again, on Demon Dust, it's absolutely crucial to just throw the goalie off their timing. And that forced the burst out of Dret pretty well, and you still got the barrier.
And then the other one.
Did he really just draw it up, and then it just kind of went again? No, wouldn't have got a hit.
And then the other one.
Wait, hold on, no. That was the first hit of the goal barrier. What happened to the second?
Okay, force the flip. And then the other
one. Friend fling. I'd say Blobbo moment, or strike with... Did Juno even strike with friends on that one right there?
Oh, okay, force the flip. And then
she did strike her friends upwards, and that just griefed the second barrier. Hilarious.
I have to run away.
Yeah, like, predictive
force the flip.
Pendulum swing right there.
And then now.
Idea's there, but at that point, just aim it at Dret himself instead of upwards. Because if you, I know that there's the wind up, and if it did go up, it would hit it there.
I have to run away.
No. I can't really fault on that point then.
Wait.
Rough angle. Fortunate. Once again, I don't see why you drifted back and forth. Actually, no. The idea is there. No, you're dodging the friend fling, but still, just recast it anyways. If you're going to burn, if you're not going to use, if Whiplash is timing out, just recast it. See if you can clip somebody for some energy and damage. Otherwise, patience. And then I think you should have just stood on the orb. I really do think you should have stood on the orbs. That would solve your stagger problems a little bit more. So you're already on top of it there, and I know you're trying to cover, but you have Death Touch to cover at that point, and if it gets past you. Now, Amy's a little bit closer to the burst again, and you don't have any, you still only have half stagger. You use Death Touch here then, which I don't necessarily mind, and then timing just got thrown off, just because of how close it was, no problems there. Pendulum swing trying to cover still.
Okay. I might need to,
Juno hit it as Amy was bursting.
Oh dear.
Trend here is just to cover the top half of the goal. Pendulum swing just unfortunately missed. Bad send, yeah, just sent to Juno, Amy for no reason there. Priority steal, fine by me there. Wide angle cut, yeah, that's fine. Trying to avoid the sound barriers right there. Okay, yeah.
Oh
so it's really just the orb and Whiplash situation.
Why is every match so hard?
Okay. Opening round.
Oh,
Juno Blobbo just won a strike war, not much to say there. Gotta cover. Gotta get the orb, gotta get the orb. But Topspin got the kill, so we sits a trade,
I had plans. With all these abilities that I had, I was like, oh, this barrier's
Lovely
free.
pop retract from
Okay,
Kazami's
it's
an
still
idea,
free,
and it even
team.
bounced
It's
in
still
your
free,
way.
and I'm gonna be back.
Main thing
I
is
have
that
every
I don't
ability
want...
in the book.
That's just unfortunate. I don't want Luna to maybe have to use any energy, because she's so close to burst.
My hubris may have
And now
gotten the
Juno's
best
got
of me.
burst, and now it's a barrel.
My
That's
hubris
just...
may have
Yeah, you just kinda got...
Team, it's still free, and I'm
just
gonna be
destroyed
back.
there,
I have every
unfortunately.
ability in the book.
Well, I see the idea, and I probably would have done the same thing trying to cover it. You just kind of just got pushed in and then died. Yeah, not much to say there. That's just an unfortunate set.
Yeah, who's
Like, quite frankly, there's not much to honestly even... Well, no, I'm still gonna look at it. I need to do it as per my duty. But there wasn't too much more to look at past that. Because on the initial strike war, Pendulum Swing again. Juno's just spaced a little bit more, and then, you know, with the Blobbo, you just lost the strike war. Not much to say. Tried to eat things here. And then you got pushed away from the orb, which is so unfortunate. But at least Topspin worked. It's just that you get pushed afterwards by a friend lane. So, yeah. And then you're just dead the entire rest of the round. Yeah, not too much more to say there.
Why are they here? Who's a paya?
Hey.
Oh my god, they're gonna get
Big fish for size, and it could solve some stagger problems, because I'm gonna
I
get
should
first.
have taken the spark. It's all my fault.
But Spark of Leadership is there, and Kazan will get Big Fish, which means Spark of Leadership goes to Aimi then, which is rough. Because that's 3 Sparks. That is rough. Kazan getting more size is nice, but in the vacuum, I think denying the Sparks is better, considering how that gets the more power and more
I'm gonna
CDR.
take this one. Trust. No, this is it.
Glass
This is
cannon?
right. This is, I
When you're
promise.
taking this much damage?
That's correct.
I don't know about that. When was this VOD? 2 days ago? Glass Cannon's still a former shell of itself. Bulk up would solve your stagger issues. I do not like that pick at all. You've had 2 past rounds where you've been dying, and even if Drek has stagger, that still is more health for you. You're taking so much residual damage on its own then.
Trust. No, this is it. This is right.
Like,
this is, I
a
promise.
conditional power and speed versus guaranteed power and guaranteed stagger, which allows you to stay alive on the pitch. That's, I don't like that pitch at all. I really do not like that pitch at all. Whiplash recast opportunity, again. That's like 9 now, but once again, I'm being pedantic at this point here. Is that good? Okay, yeah, you already lost stagger enough to where, like, it's there. Good strafe. I love the strafe right there to dodge the Juno hit. But like, you could have just had a little bit more stagger.
I don't have size. It's hard. However,
I don't like your positioning there too. You're just chilling there. Unless you're looking for a death touch, what are you doing on the bottom half of the map doing nothing? What are you doing on the bottom half doing nothing? Coverage?
Oh,
and then that's just right against the lava. That's rough. That's rough.
That's so hard.
Good press the point. Good press the point. Yeah, projectile's fine everywhere, not just counting. Like, the damage withholding, but then, like, yeah. Like, Luna's taking so much damage on her own, too. Leaving the angle open. I love the patience not to strike. That way, just the sword just drifts on its own way. Death touch in the middle. Good idea. Love the dribble. Stun. Okay, Luna just got it in instead with a boost. Look, you had the idea right there, and it worked out. Lovely pickup. But let's look at that again. Let's look at that again from the beginning here. Because quite frankly, we could compare if Glass Cannon really gets too much value when it comes to a tier. Just like, hold on. Glass Cannon Omega Strikers. Glass Cannon. Every 2 seconds, getting hit resets the timer. Up to, so after 14 seconds, you fully stat. Now, I don't know if this is up to date. But fact is, you need 14 seconds of uninterrupted to get full value, whereas you're always getting full value from both up at the very least. 350 stagger, notwithstanding, notwithstanding Stinger, especially with the boosted power, that's 1 more ability you can take, which can be everything, considering how that's 1 more Blobbo. So you do kind of take everything here, but fact is, right, that could just buy a little bit more time. Just a little off in your positioning, and then you just kind of get hit by everything, so that's kind of fair. Death Touch out of desperation? I really don't know. Replicator pays off for getting you some stature though, which is huge. And then I love the strafe. You already have it on their side of the pitch, so you can just sidestep whatever abilities bait them out, because they're already pressured out. Very, very good high IQ play right there. And just keep pressuring. Playing for the goal with the pendulum swing right there, when I told that was a missed whiplash opportunity.
Why am I?
Fair enough, fair enough. You absolutely are banking on a lot of times for trusting the core to come your way, and that absolutely would be the right idea. So I actually can't find fault with that there. You are getting yourself in position and just seeing hard. If you're in the universe where the core comes to you. Actually, no notes. Average idea. Great send. I'd say at this point then, an earlier Death Touch would have maybe been the idea there, but that's fine. And then you just, walk into the Blobbo. That's just unfortunate. You had so much speed from Whiplash too. Let me analyze. How much value do you get out of Glass Cannon at this point? Or rather, let me rewind the Awakening draft real quick, just see
deny that and then
if the Glass Cannon stats were correct from the wiki.
What should I take? You know what?
Yeah, it is correct. Rasmus with the right choice here? Well, Luna doesn't offer a big body when it comes to it. And although she can hard force with boost, you don't have anybody to really be able to win a up close and personal war at that point then. You need somebody to actually put some pressure on. I don't mind the Rasmus bit here, because even with all the stuff, or even with all the projectiles flying, you have your own projectiles / disjoints at that point then. So you can Whiplash, just cheat the Strike Wars, and they need their projectiles to be ahead of you on the offense. So then you just win with Pendulum Swing, or you steal it with Death Touch. I think it's totally fine. Between Luna and Chazan, there isn't a lot of control on the ball, so you control it with Rasmus. I think it's totally fine, because who do you think would control it better then? Because, if you're thinking about other midfielders, for instance, Estelle's not going to get through any of that stuff here. If you went to Forward Atlas or a Dubu in a vacuum on an end, those creations could hold potentially, but I think you still just get overwhelmed over time. And you also don't have the speed or the range to keep up with it in that case then. If you have a hard force like Juliet or Etz, I think you could maybe bat blow for blow, but you'd be aiming more for a kill angle at that point then, and it's already a replicator game. While space control is being lost, but you ready to switch hits, and Rasmus can absolutely control the game on his own. I think he's a fine pick. If you're saying if Rasmus is the right pick, what are you suggesting? Because you're pointing out the D3 incomes, you're pointing out what the team comp from the Owls don't bring. But what are you suggesting then? For who else could it be then? Oh, hello, Meowsly. Yeah, no, you would have just got past me roasting you on that end. How do you feel about Bulk Up? On its own, that's 350 stature on its own, on there. The power is just kind of there, I'll be honest with you, but the stature is what you're looking for when it comes to it, because that's one more ability that you're taking. Because I was really, you came in right now to where I'm literally about to count off how much value you get out of Glass Cannon here. Let's see the maximum that you get with this. What's the Rasmus fit that bothers you, and much as having Tazan and Rasmus on the same team? Okay, let's see, we're at 616 on the VOD, real quick. If I look at the draft when it comes to it, how was the pitch? So it was first pitch. So Chazan was first pitch, and then Chazan was first round, and then Rasmus Luna afterwards. Then all that they saw was Dret Juno. Then G3 says, "You would think Rasmus having Chazan and Rasmus on the same team? I don't think it's bad to have the two Quarian brawlers on the same team. They have wicked core control when it comes to it, and both can serve as both goalie or forward." We've already seen this Chazan, and I recognize the name. It's been very competent and good when it comes to it. Frustratingly, he just needs to clear it out. It's already a congested, condensed map of demon dice, where he just needs to go on clears, and press the point absolutely helps to get it to the midfield line then. Whereas, for Rasmus, you can absolutely solo carry the core then. I don't see the, I think you're looking at the team comp more on it in general, rather than the Rasmus fit D3. Get to your cues, catch up in the VOD review another time. Thank you again for doing this. Yeah, no, go ahead, get to your cues here. I am going to have the VOD out afterwards, and then, It's gonna be way later on my upload. Actually, no, I can upload this earlier as part of my Omega Strikers to you when it comes to it. And I can send you the link to it as well for you to review. Or potentially, I'm reacting to your gameplay. Maybe you can do a reaction stream of me, of you reacting to me, reacting to your VOD. Content, actually. But yeah, let's look at how much value this glass cannon actually does get. And the one is routinely unable to impact anything. They had one good goal, and they've had some good plays when it comes to it. But like what? Also, Luna hate. I'm not going. Look, we can meme about that too. But in a vacuum here, there's still this. Not right, Kazansi and constantly have to watch up and then be out of position for later places. He has to watch so far forwards. But he's also been able to recover it still well enough. The slip and crooked leverage gives him more than enough range, and he has the size too. Even if he has to watch out of the way, it's like, it's not bad, and his whole purpose is to keep it above the midfield line too. For a Kazan goalie. Because if it's getting past you at that point and you have to use crooked leverage slash the slip, that's the biggest defensive metric out. As Kazan goalie, you want to keep it past the midfield line. So it's team comp that you're arguing more than. Because you're not finding as much fault with Rasmus. You've already said so yourself. Alright. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. So you got hit. You literally got what? Like 2% speed and like 4 power. Resets.
Dear Lord.
Evaded. 1 Mississippi. Resets. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi. 4 Mississippi. That's 2 stats. That's okay. Reset. You've had at most 4% speed and like 8 power.
I need size.
You have 3 stats. That's 4 stats. 5 stats. 6 stats. Reset. All right, you've capped out at 12% speed now. Reset. I know that you said you're memeing, and then reset with your death right there. What great value! You basically played with not an awakening at all.
Game plan. Yeah, I think the matching names is really powerful.
All right. 2 seconds. 4 seconds. 6 seconds. 8 seconds. 10 seconds. Resets. Alright. Still sits at most for when it comes to it. Like, it sets a dead trade. It sets a dead trade. You said you're memeing, but the fact is, you said that the days, like, why are you getting the hard days? Like, sister, you signed yourself up for glass cannon. Okay, next round. Come on now, pick it up. We already waited on it enough. That's the roast enough. 1-2, following up with their speed. Fine enough. Fortunate.
Right? It's gotta be worth something.
Pendulum swing, idea there. Whiplash recast! Let's get the energy at least! You're into it for the death touch, I can't argue on that one at the very least, just due to the fact that you're trying to make sure that you can win the death touch. Ankle break just a little off.
To run away, team.
Orb gained.
Wait. Oh my god.
What is doing? Good death touch there. Get it moving. Pendulum swing. Lovely idea. You stop moving just without you're not in. Okay, that's fine too. That's fine too. Okay, that's good. I'm sensing on. So here's the thing that I'm thinking too, D3. I want to look at Kazan in this set too to kind of argue your point. It's like he has 3 size traits. Powerhouse Pauldrons. He has built different, and he has big fish right now when it comes to it. How far he has to walk up? He's standing in front of the goal barrier for press the point.
Yeah, I beat Strike War champion Saya in a Strike War, so that's pretty good, right?
Pretty reverence means that he doesn't have to move out of the way. He's still fine. Top spin, but he's still just standing in front of the goal barrier every time. Yes, he's walking up and down, but he has the size to afford to it. And once again, press the points, field itself is fine. Yeah, even if it used top spin, like, he's covering more than enough on space, quite frankly. Like, he's not necessarily out of the way position-wise. He's keeping it really past the midfield line constantly. He missed the triple reverence there, I will give you that, but like, quite frankly, nobody else was there, and he's beating Juno well past it, even through the jump from the swip and press the point. Like, he's fine. He doesn't have to work for it to an extent, but like, he's online. He's doing fine. I don't see the fault with your pitch. If he's getting overwhelmed, he's gonna get overwhelmed just due to the nature of it all, but in a vacuum, he's fine. Like, if you're saying later plays, like, you're playing with the Luna already. You have to set up for later plays if she doesn't land her stuff.
Obnoxious.
So that is a team comp thing when it comes to it, but like the Chazan pick's
Beat
fine.
Strike World Champion
in my
Saya
opinion.
in a Strike
Like, absolutely.
So that's pretty good, right? It's gotta be worth something.
Excuse me. Getting back to that. I wouldn't say that, no, like, the pendulum swing was an idea there. You're looking for the deft touch, but I think, and say, while you are looking for it, I'm not finding fault with the whiplash at that point. Then I am finding fault with the angel because you're sending this here to where Amy can pick it up. The little whammy grease it there, but Amy can still, she's still standing in front of where the passing lane would be. I don't like it. I think I like your other deft touch better. If you want to use it, then I think you can just pressure the corner and then have the deft touch here instead for when it rebounds out to Juno. Because then you get your free war. Positioning's good. You're waiting out for your cooldown, so you're just trying to dribble it.
Damage.
And then the break is a little bit there.
I need to run away.
Alright, the angel break from Luna was kind of there. And now you're just kind of waiting out your time.
Wait.
Trend backwards.
Oh
really good evade there. Yeah, Kazan gets to press it. Deft touch steals priority, and then you guys get to really start pressuring. And then yeah, just solid play. You saw the angel right there for the deft touch, the strike. You saw the angel for the pendulum swing once the tor came your way.
I was like,
just solid after that too. Just small ideas. Proactive with deft touch. As much as they did say, they always said you want to be proactive in the right moments. Then that first one at the bottom right, I could absolutely intercept the angel, even if not for the boost and the lock and load. So just like you want to cut the angels rather than just rather recognize like if you're in the way of a passing lane anyway. Then miss strike.
Taking so much damage.
Pendulum swing, I don't like that. I do like the whiplash. Yes, drag the dread so he's stunned and pass out to Luna. Beautiful.
What if I get this orb?
Orb greed.
Oh no!
Oh, you were in the right place too. That was so beautiful. But you broke ankles. Okay, that's good too. That's good too. What? You're in the right place. That's what counts right there.
Meowsy awareness month's back there. Just stay up here, a primary.
All right.
Have pressure, right?
So, good plays on that end afterwards.
Stinks. Oh, Abafet.
Not much to really comment on. You're just kind of like not in position afterwards. Miss strike, we have those. War lost, we have those. Pendulum swing, that's banking that's going past it there. To where once again, a lot of banking with the pendulum swings. It's not a bad thing necessarily, but it's just there. Now here's where I don't know if you would have wanted to after the dragon dread for the deft touch, absolutely beautiful. Great whiplash and then drag him so that way he's stunned as it naturally bounces in. Now you're stunned here, but at this point it's already hit the barrier. I see the strike in case Dread maybe got the save and he wasn't stunned off of it, but do you want to maybe just trend backwards and grab the orb at this rate? No, because you just instead pick it up to Luna. No, that's totally fine.
Then
I pick it up afterwards, and then, yeah, past the missed strike, you're still in the right place to just break Dread's ankles. Yeah, no big notes. You played the better tempo, because at least for me, I probably would have just given it up and said, all right, we got the tempo, we got the barrier, I'm going to guarantee my survival for the later end, but instead you played towards the ego, and you really got Switch Kids proc off of it to be able to trend back. Nah, no faults there. Good play.
We technically won the first set, so I don't know if this counts as the first one. Here, it's not denied.
Yes, I was about to say, absolutely. Just deny the Spark at this point here. Deny the Spark. Spark and Zodiac can't be assembled for Aimee, and she is last in draft, which is best case scenario. So, just gotta be done. Absolutely.
And then I get more speed.
Luna gets extra special, and I think she already has specialized training too, which is big. Prime time for Chazan, just great.
This will help me evade
Team players.
Stuff.
I do see the idea with them for press the points. Press the point team player already accelerates the core, but prime time's more consistent for defending, so that's fine too. But yeah, just had to be done there. If nobody else is gonna take it, you have to take the spark.
Leadership stuff.
Evade out.
No.
What is that value from Ross Cannon, guys? What is that wonderful Ross Cannon value?
I'm dying.
And you're done. Oh, that sucks. Top spin. That's core control out, and Luna can just kind of play ping pong outwards too. Top spin with prime time, that's huge. Coverage with whiplash, I love the idea, even if it didn't send the way that we necessarily wanted it to. I love the idea there.
Oh my god, help.
Waiting out, good idea there. Why would you deft touch there? Pendulum swing would have covered the same, because if you missed at the end of the day, then you still have deft touch after. Good pendulum swing. Not in the perfect place, that's understandable. Whiplash up, love it. 1-2, 1-2. Pendulum swing ready, aware. Idea was there, execution just wasn't, and there's no fault on that.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Core speed on this.
Only other thing was just impulse death touch at that point then, but you can't argue against that. Just once again, do I get to get impulse death touches off much?
Leadership.
Not really.
Stuff.
Alright, so you just get stunned overall, and then you're just kind of suffering.
I'm dying, I'm dying.
Trying to pick it up. I don't like the trend downwards after that though. Like after you take the hits, the core's already down there. You just need to stand more in the middle. Because you trend it downwards, and I see that you do have the idea to get out of the way, but you should have just immediately started trending up and just preserving your life at that point there. Then Luna just picks it up because Dret wants to try to push the tempo, which means they lose control and goes this way. Tried to go 10. Pendulum Swing was there, but it just gets way too congested at that point. I like the idea of maybe going for the orb, but then maybe recognizing that Kazan might need it, so Astro Replicator's there. But here's, if you Pendulum Swing this, you hit an entire line potentially. Let's see if you would hit the core. Maybe you should have hit it, and it should have gone your way then. But I think Pendulum Swing is the much better choice there, because it's going to come to you otherwise. And that's a shorter cooldown compared to Death Touch. Otherwise, it trends this way. Why are you doubling back? Push the advantage. Just keep moving forwards. Like, you cast Whiplash, and then you double back. I'm guessing you're getting ready for Dret to immediately send. Okay, I see the idea there then. I keep questioning plays, but there is valid ideas and trains of thought. I'm not arguing with it there then. Good, 1-2. And then, setting up. Now, my fault here with this small play is Luna might be trying to wait for you to make a play with it, to make a play with your Pendulum Swing here, and that's why he's trying to time it out, because you're trying to wait for her in that case then. You're trying to wait to react, but you're going to be stuttered out. At that point then, you should have just immediately cast Pendulum Swing straight on Dret. That way she might be able to get the timing for when he's stunned to send it straight forwards. So she does get to send forwards, but if you just hit Dret instead, like, as soon as Pendulum Swing is off cooldown, if you just immediately send it, right now, Pendulum Swing's off cooldown, if you send it towards him, right at this moment, you absolutely do hit him, and maybe the core, if you send it upwards. Since he sent it downwards, it would have been different. And then, once again here, this is just reaction if you saw that Death Touch was immediately off cooldown and you cast it. Because then you could save it, but, yeah, Judo Strike, I'm not gonna argue against that one there.
What's the core speed on
But
this?
yeah, that's my only other bit egregious thing in that set on that round right there. Just you have to move forwards. I'm not gonna argue with that, but you should have absolutely just hit Dret instead with the Pendulum Swing. Just hit the goalie instead. Hit the goalie instead. Another potential drag. Top spin's huge. Top spin's huge.
All the damage right. Okay.
Love the break on the ankles.
I already used
Miss strike. That's fine. When it goes bad to cover.
You can win.
Recast the Whiplash! I guess it's more for positioning you use that one there, but recast it for some energy. You're so close to burst and you kind of need the energy too. Love the patience idea. Orb grab, yes, huge. Beef moment. That's a burst beef. That's a huge burst beef by Aimee. Why would you send it forwards on Demon Dice? Alright. So, Whiplash didn't get the initial ideas there, but I love where your heart is on both of those plays when it comes to it.
Right.
Great ankle break. And then just Miss Strike just starts it off there then.
Just calm down, yeah.
Whiplash starts.
They have 5.
Maybe you should have trended towards Jet, just clip them for some energy, because the main thing I'm thinking about is like your energy and your burst situation, considering how much damage you're residually taking. But you're getting into position, so I'm not necessarily going to fully argue, because it still did come low overall.
At least some of them.
Then you just, you wait out Dret, try to play forward, and then Aimee sends it forwards, right? Straight forwards! At least dribble it off the side, that way it doesn't come straight into your barrier again. Because she just griefed her team.
Oh, cooked. I don't know how we won that.
Oh well,
Flips too.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
getting that KO
after this then, for win? I don't like that Death Touch. Your stuff's forced out there. Now you're trying to hit Juno. Okay, idea's there, but looking at Juno instead of controlling the core, because that just lost you the next barrier because you're just trying to be kill hungry. You know, once you confirm the kill, why are you trying to look at her? She's already staggered out, so you use that to push your advantage.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a huge jump from her. Just fact is, like, you haven't gotten any kills at this point here. It's not like you have adrenaline rush, quite frankly. So why are you trying to zone in on her? She already has no energy necessarily. And you already lost both barriers at that point. You're already down one barrier, and then you lost the other barrier from trying to Killmonger on her. That's not your win condition. Your win condition is just like, you've been winning fine enough then. No fault here. I think you might have been trying to prime a Death Touch to recover the angle here. Okay, yeah, like, I see the idea right there. I saw the cast indicator, but you just got hit by Aimee, so it buffered your input.
I can't take that, friend.
You're just watching for the wand angle. And you're like, yeah, like, why are you staying on Juno when Aimee needs to be covered? You and Luna are already on Juno at this point. Move upwards, cover Aimee. Just even with that whammy, like, you're not presenting the angel for Tizan to pass outwards. And then it got dubious right there. Because if he had an angel upwards, yeah, Jet's not the walking away, but you're still in front of Aimee, and then now it's more in the midfield rather than constantly in your side of the pitch. Because the core stays between, yeah, goes outwards then, but Tizan has to fall further back, and then that forces him to clear backwards then. If you got a little bit further in, maybe you could have kept pursuing the same angle otherwise. Because then, yeah, now this is just a straight problem. You're trying to cover the middle here. Trying to watch Juno for what you can, and then, yeah, it's not even a flop, that's just Luna's crater. Just cratering the chances for your team to win. Yeah,
God,
that's unfortunate.
The draft, I should have picked Spark. That could have been me, you know? Could have been me. They could have had to deny me. The Meowsy didn't. Oh.
Whiplash recast was late, but it's fine. Death Touch for priority steal, I love it. Should have just 1-2 strike with the pendulum swing getting ready. Death Touch not used because I'd say Whiplash not used because maybe it was too close to the goal. So weird situation. Recast! You should have burst! If you've been hitting people, you should have burst! You also alternatively could have used pendulum swing right there on Dratch. You're so close to burst constantly, and it's killing me. You got it? You stunned Aimee too, and Luna got it through. I can't believe it, because Aimee absolutely could have barreled it in with her burst to end your fate. Oh my goodness, it's a game of inches.
I should have picked Spark. That could have been me, you know?
Alright, so round start.
They could have had to deny me.
Things start going. I don't like the trend here with you.
You know?
Why are you trending immediately towards Dret when you know the core is staying at the final century? Just stay on it if you need to whiplash it down to keep it low, because in another universe, if Tizan doesn't get the pop retract off, that's already a goal barrier lost. And then you're in a weird awkward position to where whiplash absolutely could have griefed. I love the immediate Death Touch though to steal priority. If you just immediately struck upwards and then primed your pendulum swing, but that's my Rasmus instincts. So you probably just, you know, you're just not attuned to it, and that's fine. Tizan just got hit by the Blobbo, so that's totally fine too. Rough angle, nothing more to say about that. But the pressure and the patience there is nice. But once again, where's the recast? Your energy here is at 63 at the moment here. You can absolutely cleave both forwards, maybe just Aimee, the very worst, and you'd be up to about like 68 energy. Basically 2 abilities plus 3 hits off from getting your burst at this point here then.
Core speed.
Was that strike necessary afterwards? You're 1-2 in case Luna didn't get it. No fault there. Now, here's what I'm thinking. Why do you move upwards here? Because if you move upwards, there still is a viable lane that you get through. Just right there in the middle. If Dret feels so inclined. Alternatively, you kept going downwards, you'd absolutely just press pendulum swing and force him to be stunned during this hit too. So yeah, with that weird upwards trend, Juno even cheats past you with her jump too. Why do you trend upwards on that note? Like the core is down there. Just stay a little bit closer to the core in your plays. I like the ideas, but you can cheat with Rasmus. It's a Death Touch and all. If you trend it downwards, okay, that bounce was actually atrocious. So actually, that wouldn't have helped. The jump with Juno was just nice otherwise. But then here, Death Touch earlier to maybe drag it out of the way. You still got to stun Aimee at the very end, which is very lucky. But like, that's a game of inches, because if they felt so inclined otherwise, Aimee had 2 chances to barrel it in. That's enough energy off the Twitch pop. So 1, and then she's stunned here, but she also should have just pressed the burst button, and then the game should have ended right there. And it's in. We're arguing in another universe, but the threat was there. You need to make sure you don't lose. You want to make sure you don't lose that interaction. There's a lot of well worked out happening here, and that's why I'm pointing it out. Because yes, okay, the game should still lose here. I'm still blind to how this game ends. The fact is, we're in the universe where you did win a lot of these weird interactions and didn't lose as much. But in the universe and games where you don't, that's why you gotta shore up these small little plays.
Oh my god.
Because you got lucky, and Luna did get to win her boost 1v1 right there. But in the universe where just press the burst button, it's a 2-3 loss and a 1-3 loss set. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, why reaction burst? Why did Ivy burst trying to kill?
Died somehow.
Oh no, it's all going downhill, dude.
Okay. Somehow my team will carry, I believe. And
okay, Ivy doesn't have her cyber swipe anymore.
The rest of the carry.
Judo Blubos! Oh, well, that's just a ripperoni right there. Well, let's see how this panned out to begin with.
To this point. So,
not that there. The Juno Blobo absolutely torches it, which ruins both goal barriers to begin with there.
Oh,
that is...
Squander this opportunity. Oh god.
You're slowed already by the molten bolt, so you're thinking if you weren't slowed there, you should have had it. So I see the idea for the burst. It just didn't work out. And then okay, I see the idea for Ivy's burst afterwards too. But you were just a little bit on the corner there. But then yeah, that's just a bad well, let me take a look here, because Luna's stuck at the top half of the goal after all those shenanigans.
I need to not.
She boosted backwards! Okay, there is a world to where she thinks in case Dretch hits it up to the top, that she needs to cover it. He missed, and to be fair, like let's say if Kazan didn't have quick coverage from prime time, I see the idea. No, I see the idea. Does it? What? She boosts backwards to hit. She's trying to cover the goal. It's not bad, but now that leaves you on an island. So it's already drowning after the first interaction with the Juno Blobo. So that's just Juno winning first touch after, and then well, it just drowns out from there. Can't blame her there. It's just that, you know, like, she had her idea, and then there's no stagger left. Yeah. That's how it ends out, unfortunately.
You know the truth is...
Yeah, that was
this game is really
no,
hard.
that was not a sword, Crimson. That was a beatdown, because that last round was done in less than 30 seconds, and the stagger was gone.
Taking size, but, it's all...
So what's the main things that could have happened there? Awakening Draft, there is the hindsight of what could have been different if you took Spark instead of Twin Drive, but you already had Aerial, so it's not bad. And like I said, it just comes down to your preference on that end, or if you want 2 cooldowns in a burst, or if you just want more residual cooldowns overall. And, you know, that's hindsight. You can't really say too much about the Sparks at the end of the day there. Zan could have taken Spark of Leadership away, but he kept going for big size. It's not necessarily bad, but it still is a bigger denial, but that's more of a team thing when it comes to it. And quite frankly, this is a solo queue environment, so it's not like you could have communicated out with them. Glass Cannon Pit was absolutely grief. You know, Stinger not included. You could have, like, Stinger not included, and, you know, Spark of Power not included, of course. You still could have taken at least a little bit more of a hit, and we saw how that last round went to you just melting. You already recognize that, so I'm not going to say too much about it. But otherwise, for your main Rasmus tips, the main things come to mind is 3 things. 1, energy game for you. You had a lot of situations to where you never got burst much past the first set. No, I think you had like to burst once first set, and then burst in like the 4th set or so. Because your energy was constantly being monitored and taken down by the enemy. And it's not bad, you had good evades and you had good strafes out, but you are not casting Whiplash at the end if it's timing out on its own. That's just good to do in general, especially if you can just, like, for the fact of, if you cleave somebody, just if you cleave an enemy, that's like 2 or 3 energy. It's about as much as of a strike, but you saw how close the burst situations were right there, so... The fact that you're counting on double digits on times where you timed out Whiplash, now to be fair, 1/3 of those were when it's the core behind you, and that's an absolute grief, so I appreciate the patience there, because that's way better than I would do. But there's a lot of times where you could have absolutely had burst, and maybe taken the tempo of the game way differently, because your burst and your angles for sending them were very good for resetting the play, or for mind gaming otherwise than where you're going to send it off the corners or so. But you should make do with facilitating more of that by just recasting your Whiplash more, even if you're not hitting anybody. Yes, there's times where you recognize you're using it to position. Yes, there's times to where you recognize that if you used it, you should absolutely beef your teammates. It's something because it's on your side of the pitch. But there's a good half of those times where you could have just at least used it to cleave somebody. Even if you're not pushing for damage with your comp as much, or your playstyle, you could have been using it to just generate some energy. 2, recognizing more of like your natural depth touch angles. The proactivity I did highlight on set 1, and then you were retroactively more proactive in set 4 and 5. There's sometimes to where you were a little bit eager, to where even if you can get control, it still is basically a passing lane to you. If the enemy's in front of it, they can just cut it off, and that's not necessarily the best then. You have good use out of it otherwise though, for like some of the scrambles, or for accessory just like using it as a stun button comes to it. But if you're trying to be predictive for where to send the depth touch, the depth touch projectile is already fast enough on its own to where it will reach 90% of the time if the core's being launched that way and you need to send it as a reaction. Send it predictively, use pendulum swing instead because that's Celeste to middle, and it's, depth touch is something that people have to watch out for more than. If you're trying to just use it to disrupt the play or try to be predictive, just legitimately send it towards the core more. Because then you're either going to hit the core and you get control because it's coming by at red speed towards you, or you stun the person who the core is on top of, and that forces their hand into a disadvantageous strike war in case your other forward's on top of them or so. And then 3, when it comes to it, is just fundamentals for man marking when it comes to it. Of your Whiplash lets you cheat strike wars because you don't have to engage in them. You just Whiplash recast, and that's never getting near the natural strike range. Pendulum swing is your disjointed hit, of course, and then depth touch is depth touch. It's got a myriad of uses. But I like how you're cutting off a lot of lanes when it comes to it, but you need to just be on top. You just have to be a lot more on top of people when it comes to it. Don't be afraid to be on top of people, because Rasmus will have size for upgrading the size of those abilities, but that's also because he gets to cheat even better with both of those, with the bigger sweet spot, or just range rather, just overall in pendulum swing, and range and Whiplash. Because you cheat strike wars with Whiplash naturally on your own, size just exaggerates that fact, so just get in front of the people more. If you can't cut off the passing lane, just get in front of the person, man mark them more. Overall, you had really good ideas and moments there, and there's a lot of times where I saw it's like, alright, you had the idea and you just got buffered out because you got stunned by a hit, or it came to a situation to where, for instance, you just got, you just didn't get the timing right. I'm just gonna chalk that up to, you're not a Rasmus main, is the thoughts there. So, overall, pretty good review. I really appreciate the opportunity, Meowsly. I keep saying it as if you have an L in the name, Meowsy. And let's see if you're streaming Omega Strikers, just because I can. Again, Omega Strikers. Because if they are still streaming, yeah, they are still streaming right now. So absolutely, just support their stream if you can on their end. People there, they just stream on the same Twitch when it comes to it overall. Just send them their love. Now I will say though, now it is absolutely my own turn to play Omega Strikers. I was thinking a Celeste game, but I think it's absolutely my time to just do some rounds, because all that talking is envy. I want to play OS. So let's do some OS, and then maybe I'll do some Eternal Return off stream if you want to maybe play some ranked D3. So I'm almost to gold, smile. Alrighty, that's a very good VOD review. So let's boot this up, and let's play a little bit ourselves. That will be 15 OS VOD review. Probably like 1 or 2, and then I'll see afterwards. It's already midnight, and I want to do a lot of offline stuff. I want to do some editing for a cosplay project of mine. I don't necessarily want to do that on stream when it comes to it, rather. In the meantime, I'm going to look at my previous setup OS and see if there's any salvageable games, quite frankly. I can salvage the footage of me watching D3 stream. I'll put that as their own clips actually then. OS watch 1. This is this the game with Austin? Yes, that's the Austin game. So 15 OS. Here is this. An Octavia game I had, but is it a good one? Ankle breaker? No. Not an ankle breaker. It is still an ankle breaker. Ah, dude, I should have just waited it out. It was a good Kazan, but like, I'm hearing myself getting frustrated. I think I should scrap that one then. And then, oh, the night market game from the other night where I got 16 kills and we couldn't, like, I got 16 kills as Julie on the game where it's like, I'm gonna practice Julie. And I'm absolutely trying to carry this and I'm back and I couldn't do much on that end. And that, okay, that was an absolute drown of a game. Whatever. We're gonna play OS. It's a new night. Let's see how this goes then. I would say I'm pretty surprised I didn't churn through more of my water during that VOD review. Psycho. Psycho Temple. Fight or flight recovery drone. Psycho Temple. Do I think Rasmus is fine here still? I think I want Julie. I think I still want to be on my Juliet training arc when it comes to it here to I train Julie. What don't I want to deal with here? Zen. No Zen, please. Even with recovery drone on the table, I still do think I might want to keep playing Julie when it comes to it. Actually, even with recovery drone, if I'm gonna be pummeled Julie anyway, then fight or flight actually makes me have my budget split kids. So let's run with that then. Let's run with that. Excuse me. And with Finny as a goalie, we absolutely have some absolute offensive potential in that case. So I need to play way up front and just recognize my role. Vice Mako.
Be in the arena. I'm ready.
Damage absolutely could be there, in which case recovery drone could be the difference maker, but I think I want to lean in more into fight or flight, because if we're going to get staggers anyway then, if I'm going to get staggered, I'm going to get refreshes in my dashes anyway then. Recovery drone only protects me for the once per set. And we have good disruption on that case, so let's stay with this idea. Ets. Alrighty, Chief. Alrighty, but it is going to be a pummel's game for me. Because if there's a banish or so, or like a Finny big finish, I need to just be able to follow up on my teammates.
I won't let you beat me this time.
Pummers. So we got Pummers, we got 2 recovery drones. We're all fight or flight on our side here. Pummers rune too. So I absolutely need to make value out of us here. Excuse me. That's unfortunate. Oh, just covering my top. Good Julie play by me, just simple enough. That's a weird balance for me on my end, but good patience overall. Didn't work the way I wanted it to there. I was hoping that that would come to me. Oh my goodness gracious. That's awkward and a half. That's going to get the recovery drone out of Mako, which is what I care about here, because then that's more pressure for me to have. Good way to get it away. I just need to present myself as an angle. I tried cheating my way past, that way I could get before them. Cut the X angle if I could. That's the idea. I've lost my war though. That's fine. This interrupter. I'm holding my lane down here. Big thing. Ooh, idea of mine was there. Oh, I went for the idea. Good save, good save. If I just waited a second more, I definitely could have had her. That's fine, because maybe not as fine as I'd like it to be. The send's never gonna come my way. Need to just recognize that. Rune, teleport, good play. Don't have enough push necessarily, but just get the orb for my own stagger. That's wasn't able to pick it up. Oh! That was potentially huge, potentially. I got buffered out of my dash! That's actually so bad. Okay, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine. We're fine, alright, I got my pitch-up play there. We have so much pressure when it comes to it then, and even with that's having switch kids, right, the fact that we got the barriers first meant that it was way harder for them to try to open up any plays. That was trying to stun Vice right there. Didn't work out, obviously, so now, just at the residual pressure game. Good patience. Good send, good send. I love that send. Rough, rough, rough! That's what I'd say. Eds doesn't have the air on me to kill me right there. So, get the recovery drone out of Vice. Absolutely just evade, just to preserve my stagger. Oh, I was about to say I need to evade again, probably. Oh, I missed! Because he got pushed over 2 by 4. I did kind of step right there. Unfortunately, when it came to it. And that's a bad angle, too. Oh, okay, yeah. I saw the rune idea right there, but I stopped moving, thinking that the push wouldn't be too much. She can still move when she's vanished, Cruzy. So, just wait for that, because you absolutely had the kill there. Once that I didn't die, but I basically only have, like, a little bit of stagger more from how I would have been. Oh, good power forward. Oh, almost. Good burst. I love the burst. Love the angle. Annoying. That power forward actually griefs them out, but they can't get anything more. Good hit, and then breaker of angels didn't happen. That's is so close to us. So I need to just make sure that he can't get enough stagger, because fact is he has burst. He has burst. So legitimately, like, yeah. I'm just trying to stall for time so we can try to kill him. Big. Huge play! Huge play by me to recognize that Etz has burst. So I need to make sure that he can't use it. Unfortunately, they still got the goal at the end from a good supernova. Fact is, that's just danger spotting. That's just smart danger spotting. Good by me. Twice the tempo, get the orb, and then present myself as an angel. Oh, that's grief. Punch Vice, just keep her stagger low. I don't have to evade there, because it's not that she's threatening me with death. Punch her while she's debuffed, and then just get ready to cover. Oh, this is so bad, actually. This is absolutely so bad. Never mind! Oh my goodness gracious! Let's say Etz has used every cooldown to try to kill me, so I'm actually just straight chilling. Anthony got a misdirection! Ha 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 ha! Suckers! Suckers! That's huge, that's huge. Alright, last goal situation. I got buffered on my hit! Good angle. I absolutely have to just hit Etz because he's so close to burst again. Lazy core! That's a ripperoni. Alright, that's fine. Now my question is there gonna be prize fighter, adrenaline rush, any power kill traits on the table? 1-2 punches here, but I'm last in draft. There's a lot of juicy traits, quite frankly, if I do say so myself, though. It comes down to what people want, quite frankly. What do you think, Finny? Bulk up for you. Fair to an extent, I will say. Prize fighter for Etz. I do think in that case then I take Sparks, because I'm already last in draft. If we win, then I could absolutely scale, and this could buy me some more stuff. Super Search is there's an idea too, but I think I want more raw strength, quite frankly, right now. Excuse me. Because if I wanted bulk up, I should have been shadowing it, so really can't say much about it. just get her staggered out for what I can. I'm trying not to abandon the lane, because if I'm getting too kill hungry in Vice, then and it becomes a residual problem for us. Yeah. Like, after not getting Vice after the banish initially right there, like, I just didn't have any impact on the round right there. So, bad. Good play by me. Just push the tempo. A tempo. I'm just gonna keep pushing buttons on Eds because we can stagger him and we can keep the ball like moving for us. Oh shoot! And that's also death by Vice. I was hoping maybe we could. If I push him into it, maybe it should like push like the triple. If I push him into a triple take, maybe it should bounce him to the right instead. But wrong idea. It's fine though. It's fine then. We just had that on the opposite side. I'm actually gonna press the button though, Flame Fury, to get hits out of Vice. Absolutely though. And then if they all want to keep looking at me, that's totally fine. Okay, you got the kill on me, but you lost the barrier. The only other good thing that they got out of it was a prize fighter stat, and that's good tempo there. Very, very good bait play by me. Very, very good. That was good evade, and just playing my life. Just buying whatever time. They wasted so much time on me, the forwards there. That's so lucky that I didn't die to that. So lucky. The fact that I didn't hold that is really bad. I have to just get the orb. How do you lose both barriers, Finny? How do you lose both barriers like that? And then I got buffered on my hit too. And Rune didn't even get the banish that he wanted. Good save. I'm just trying to stop the Dance Angels, and I'm just waiting for my stagger to come back. Keep it away from her. Oh, I don't like that shadow swap. Why would you give it up? You don't have size yet, Rude. Actually, no, you have some, but you just gave up the core. It's fine. I need to have more of an impact, because Vice is just running us over, and I'm not finding a way to get into it. Adrenaline Rush is here, but if we're gonna reverse sweep, I kind of need the spike of agility, too. That's why Train's gonna hurt so much. No doubt about that. Oh, absolutely. If I can get it, the agility is right there. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a Adrenaline Rush, without a doubt. Cast the last for the longer stuff. Taken away, so in that case, yeah, it is a Adrenaline Rush. Because that's good to know by Mato, just recognizing that it's a win condition, or a reverse sweep to even happen. But I still get a best in slot 2 of Adrenaline Rush. Granted, Recovery Drone is there, but if I kill X, for instance, that's his prize fight stat out, I think that's how we want to start snowballing it. Didn't get what I wanted there. Absolutely just gonna press the evade button. And just try to hit X. Why did you wait so long to strike there, Finny? Good kill. That's my Adrenaline Rush. I didn't get the Flame Fury that I wanted. Send. Just gotta eat the perfect pitch. Big. Hit her while she's debuffed. War lost, unfortunate. Get in front so there's no power forward. Big misdirection. Idea was there. Wait, you're traded up? Nice burst. Oh, huge save. Yeah, Eds just has so much energy because I don't have a way to interrupt Mato there. Oh, that's so rough. But he is kind of wild. I'm not gonna deny right there. Like, she absolutely got some weird clearances, and it's working to its extent, but I can't, like, I don't have as much midfield pressure when it comes to it. It's absolutely drowning us out. Well, that's a Vice moment. Vice moment's paid back in full. I need to get her drone out at the very least if it comes to it. Just get some pressure. That's huge. Quite frankly. Well, I forgot that Cascalas was a thing. I'll be honest there. I kind of risked our entire play because I forgot Cascalas was a thing. Dude, can I just get any? What? It's my jewelry trading art still. It's still jewelry trading art. Now the pendulum swinging the other way, unfortunately. Good save, good save. Oh, that's just what we got to walk up, dude. Yeah, my jewelry execution's off, but this is still a winning game, without a doubt. Because once again, this is my second jewelry game in 3 seasons. I need to keep practicing with her if I want that to add her to my striker rotation confidently. Video was there. Dude, I'm trying to reaction test on it when it comes to it. That's the wrong idea to go about this here. That's the wrong idea. Oh, that's first burst in forever. That was late. Why are you doing it that way? I don't really care about the hit. You want to use the burst? You want to use burst to kill me? Use burst to kill me. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. Oh, I thought that'd be enough. Ah, that's where it is! Thank you, Freddy! Great, what? Then I want you to be... Do I legitimately need to keep going to 0 health and have myself be a taunt button? Is that the play, actually? Is that the play? Yeah, just wait that's out. Nice. Nice building. Oh, that's not enough damage! Send it down, good, good send. Watch the close angle, good. Lovely play by me. I have to evade that, because otherwise I die. I need to put some pressure back in that, since he's gonna get his stagger back, and that can't be happening. Big. That's kill. Clinical! That's a Adrenaline Rush reset right there. Big. Alright. The recovery drones is still making it impossible for Vice to die, and she's been just holding really good specialized trainings, or when it comes to it. So, send it otherwise. He's gonna press it in our face, probably. So pressure the boy. Just get the Tor out of here, because he's dead either way. Bad. Fortunate. Very bad. Oh, Finny! Can't believe you saved that girl. I just have to present myself as a strike face. Lovely angle. Don't request thirsty. Just do your job. Oh! Mr. Richard was huge, potentially too! Huge! Ah, it's going off! I'm popping off! Whoa! Oh, that's a huge Adrenaline Rush play, dude. I recognize that as soon as I stagger her out. Oh my goodness gracious, dude. There's so many good traits when it comes to it. There's a lot of good traits. I think I have to take Stinger, quite frankly, because that's going to guarantee us more kills when it comes to... I'd love to have Spark of Leadership, don't get me wrong, but I think we need to have more power. And if Vice gets either that or extra special, it's going out of the way, dude. Like, really badly for us. I'm fine with having Explosive Entrance, but we needed to have these 2 traits taken off the table. Otherwise, I'm dead in the water. Okay. It's good. Plus, that, you know, that helps us belay the win condition of keep going X. Honestly, I'm fine with that. I'm very fine with that. I'm not fine with that. Alright, let's go up. Just legitimately hit X if you can, Druzy. She says as she misses X with every single damn ability. I love the patience idea. Advice is just kind of running over us. He has Timeless and Manu. Like, that thing's gonna last for a good damn while. Oh, Finny trended upwards as he didn't expect X's bow ringer to hit. Oh, okay, that's rough, that's rough. Okay, that's fine. It's fine, though. It's actually fine. Because I just need to make use of whatever hits I can get. I just missed all my abilities there. Vice doesn't want to respect. Like, she absolutely does not want to press the evade button herself. And I think I just need to just, like, whenever I use my flame fury, just absolutely just full send on her in that case. I want to use it for tempo because, like, we have Ed staggered out, but the play's not to kill him. The play's just get some tempo! Vice has burst, though! That's a huge Vice kill, though! No! Huge. Yeah, Vice had burst. You just got to walk up. You have to press burst earlier, get it out of the way, just even with the kill and the reset. Fact is, Vice just had burst. That's... It's rough, because like, she just, like, yeah, after the first hit and round or so, she legitimately did just get to walk up. Okay, look, Stinger's gonna tit X down. Send this away, good. Damn it! Nice play by her, nice play by her. I should have just immediately sent the cooldowns and just try to cascade the damage at that point then. Excuse me. Tempo, lovely send, lovely send. I think I will just hit her just for the damage overall. And I have to cover the short angle. Punch. Oh, that's very bad because we just left it to Ets for free. Good shadow swap. Then down. Ets has got it for free. Somehow, Ets didn't get it for free. I'm in danger of death. Like major death vibes for me. Just evade, perfect hits if I can. Do this for energy. Hit myself as an angle. Oh, burst got burst out of me. I was about to say it's a horrid bounce. No! Nice try, nice try. Ah, oh, dude. That's rough. Vice absolutely ran the game over for us, and the Awakening draft kind of tied my hands, unfortunately, at the end there. Extra Special could have been it, but I thought, I thought I was thinking to myself, Extra Special was Stinger. I think with how in the face I am, I thought Stinger would have been better, but I wasn't sure what Finny was going to take. She could also benefit from Stinger without a doubt, thinking about it too, but I just felt my hands were tied, and I thought I could just keep forcing the issue on X, but then it just came to Vice just got to have the goal instead, and then we couldn't have the condition as much as we would have liked. Alright, that's a fine game. It's a rough one to lose, but that's a fine one. Man, like that goal to get us in set 4 to win set 3 though was absolutely so nice though. It's such a good combo and survival against Eds too, and that just sucks to say at the end. I don't want to play about your friend's VR thingy. I mean, so you're at a friend's VR thingy. You don't play. You can't play. You're at a friend's function. So don't D3. Just straight up. I know that when I install the base stations for my VR stuff, so I absolutely do want to host community nights again, because it's been 2 months or so. And as much as I do joke as in its excuse to drink or so, try to in July, when July comes around, VCAT, Virtual Market comes around, baby! Virtual Market 2025. If I look it up on its website, July 12th, that's gonna be so fun! Oh my goodness gracious. I'm gonna be so excited. And that'll be a lot of people's first VCATs to really go out to live as well. Ooh, ah, ah. Ooh, ah, ah. Alright, but let's let's pull up my upload schedule and take a look at things here then, real quick. So if I pull up my Chrome, my usual thing that I love doing, hey guys, you're subjected to the upload schedule. You're never escaping it. Tonight's stream is just OS straight up. VOD review / OS. Out of that here, and out of the last night too, we have a total of, let me see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 VODs of OS overall, in a nutshell. So that would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically, I want to post the VOD review on its own, so let's section that off for here. Mega Strikers VOD review. That will go onto my May blot when it comes onto the blot when I'm out on vacation, and I'll also send the link to the hours away early if they want. Excuse me. I do think I kind of want to clip that Julie play out because that was a pretty sick one, so that's gonna be a shadow play clip. And I got 2 shadow play clips in the middle too here when it comes to it as well, so that's gonna be ideas. And then I think that'll be good for my upload schedule this week. Once again, I'm already peeling into June with my stuff, which is very, very, very nice. And then, well, my 3 uploads a day is actually paying off well. It's actually paying off very well, I will say, because it's just slowly got my metrics up. Granted, people watching OS, but I'm at 969 subscribers on YouTube. Will I hit 1K before on subscribers before I hit 2K on my videos? I don't think so, Chief. But it's a milestone and a very big one. I'm gonna be proud about. What am I gonna do when I actually hit? What's it say? So when I actually hit 1K subscribers, I don't know. I never thought I'd get this far, but I'll figure it out in time. For now, Q-pop. We got ourselves a Q-pop. Like I said, I'll maybe play 1 or 2 more, depending on how good this one is, because I think I want to play some Eternal Return tonight. And that'll be off-stream stuff when it comes to it, because I want to do my cosplay work in the meantime then. And that's not going to be good content if I'm just kind of staring at my cosplay things and muttering to myself. I'm going to cosplay content soon enough on my own side. It's a night market game. This is going to be a good one already. Fighter, Flight, or Timeless Trader? Well, quite frankly, last time around when we had a night market game, I got absolutely run over by an Octavia. So I kind of want to try her out, actually, then. Don't I want to deal with Timeless Trader in that case. They like Subaru. A Timeless Trader with Fighter Flight. Bane Dubu for Timeless Trader otherwise. As much as I hate Zen, I don't think necessarily I'm gonna see him on night market and then I'm gonna eat my words completely. I'm gonna hate every inch of the way. But I want to try Octavia because the Octavia, when I played Julie in night market before, I got a lot of kills, but an Octavia, because it's a 2-lane map, and I feel like because it's been on rotation so long, with Atten and night market being on rotation for so long, we haven't seen the ability for that to actually pop off so much more. Erasmus Rune, so Octavia. Octavia from my end, of course, then.
Will you teach me how to play?
So it's Kazan forward. Juno Dolly is still around at their comms, so we're really gonna have to be on top of core control because they can absolutely cheat past us, get past it too. It's gonna be how well I can maintain my hold when I get my flow state, especially.
They can't escape.
So, Pummeler's Rune. Otherwise, switchies across the board. Oh, time to see how that goes then. Just prepare to run. That's a good clearance when it comes to it then. I don't know what Juno was doing. And I legitimately ran into that because I was so flabbergasted by Juno just hitting it straight back into it that I legitimately just died. Now, to be fair, that's Banish gone, and that's also a Dual Barrier gone, so who's rocking now, huh, nerds?
I'm not the type to give up.
I need to get a hit. That is such a lazy core. Depends either way. I can just cut the angle. What is on? Get the hold because I'm trying to save my strike. So when it does come to me. Oh, good patience by Estelle there. Juno's way out of position, unfortunately. Nice hold. 1-2, didn't get it. Still just playing nice and calm. I have to cheat it. Pass. That did not cheat the way I wanted it to. Zip myself as an angel. Oh, that's unfortunate. Ah, that's such good patience demonstrated by Estelle. She keeps pummeling me out, and that's really annoying. We'll say. Let's just get the boost, and then see where she wants to send it. Good stuff. I can steal priority. That was the idea there.
Oh,
Well, she is trying to get to stand around against me. She just has to test her reactions, but she wants the reactions against Juno instead. And quite frankly, I will take that. Alright, so big things to note. Burst play on the table. Idea. Or that, or just push her into the goal, potentially. Because, yeah, she's just kind of out of the way there then. Kazan kind of did all the work, and then I just got to barrel it. So, really huge. Basically, burst for a goal, and my ult. And now I have burst before still Rune even had an impact on that round right there, which is practically a lot of things that we'd love to have. Waited it out. Tried to see if I could win both. Good crystal going so. Stop Rune from having an idea when it comes to it on getting the core. Good patience. But that's my war this time, sucker. Great. Yeah. They have ways to potentially it pass, but Kazan gets to hold it on the midfield so much that I'm getting so many freebies, quite frankly. Like, actually so many freebies. Twin Drive is there, and quite frankly, Fight or Flight exists with Twin Drive, which could absolutely be really hilarious. Stats and Stats is there too, but depends on how pressured I'm feeling then. Otherwise, yeah, Stats and Stats or get Super Surge, depending on what's stuffed up. I jail with the rest of this? Did what with the rest of this? Yeah, I'm gonna see what we can. I know Deadeye from Juno. She's a jet button. She's gonna try weird shit, probably. I hope you're doing well, Crimson, still. Yep. Still got the hits, though. Just gonna concede some space, but I did get the orb at least. The main thing I'm looking at is that Rune does have Stinger, which can help their offensive game, absolutely. Like, is she just standing around just trying to test her reactions, quite frankly? Because, like, that was just 2 strike wars that I won again. Like, there's still... She has an easy 1, for instance, away from me where I need to be right next to the core, but, like, a few of these situations, too, I'm also just really wondering in general. Okay, good Rose Warp. Gets it away. I'm just gonna get the orb here because I have no onus immediately. And then this is just to pressure them out. I tried 1-2ing, but Kazan got my back. And then we just cover the wall. And if I can, keyword. In front of Rasmus. Yeah, like...
I might use that one as inspiration for my next
Rune
round.
kind of did grief her there, quite frankly, but I'm getting a lot of freebies. I'm gonna be real cheap. Why pummelers too, though, still? Like, are you still just trusting Raw that you're going to get a lot of Vanish combos when it comes to it? Ooh, what's fourth there? Didn't get it, but at least if I just get hits on enemies, then I'm going to get a lot of my stats on stats. Yep, good space by me. Stinger hits are absolutely ripping me a new one, though. Good hit by Rune, but I absolutely just need to play my life. Put myself with an angle. and get ready to receive was the idea there. Yeah, like, the stinger hits are making it impossible for me to basically want to play. Nice stopgapping there. Sit Rune, just be a bit of a dastard to him. I was prepping that in case it came our way, was the big idea. Huge, spike is on. Idea was there. Yeah, that just kind of drifted out of the way. That was just kind of a weird round. Oh, at the very least, I didn't die despite all that pressure, and I almost have full stats. So if it comes to it, I think we can still grind this set out. Kind of wild. She kind of is. She just kind of stands around a lot. Quite frankly. Get the orb for myself here. You had your burst almost, and you didn't want to do much. I tried pressing that to just see if I could tempo Rasmus. Oh, almost. Didn't even get the orb from him. That's actually really bad. Really bad. Like, are you gonna pummel me to death right there, Chief? Good pendulum swing by Rasmus. Lost my ward. That's unfortunate. So unfortunate. Oh, what? Oh, I like the idea there. From Juno. It just didn't pan out. Excuse me. We're gonna really get reverse swept on this set here, and I hate it. I hate it so much. Alright, you know what? We'll take what we can get. All that. That way I can have some defensive merits, potentially. That's Rune Grief right there, hilariously. Rune Grief again. Which is there, and I seem to survive, because if I get a hit, then I legitimately can get my burst. Yep. You used all your abilities now, Estelle, and now if it comes to me, it's just a straight win. I just need the core to come to me. Great. Yeah, you could not confirm the kill, and you just kind of take the set right there. Great. My survival the entire time is what barreled us to victory. Smile? Alright, what do I want then? I think it is absolutely an extra special game for me as Octavia, because that lets me get so many stats. Like, constantly. I'm always going to be threatening, and Rune has disrespected me twice about my, about base drop, to where he's died close to burst twice over. So I think that is absolutely it. Because otherwise, Big Fish would be the idea for the statter, but it's not too much more. It's absolutely extra special. Now, he does get specialized training, which is a bad thing, of course. Just now, the pummeler's idea could be there, but we'll see how much. Because he hasn't made much of a fear for his banishers, quite frankly, yet. The only thing that he's gotten is from me kind of running in like an idiot at the beginning. I have to use his stuff defensively there anyways. That's done Rasmus. Oh, the fact that I ran into that anomaly too meant that my standard game is so bad right now. That's so rough. That's so rough. Oh, I had the idea there. Nice try, Kazan. Nice try. I have to threaten in the corner right there because I'm probably going to be eaten. Nice Spanish, brother. Real nice Spanish. I tried. Oh, as long as I don't die, which is the big thing I'm just looking out for. Rune finally did get me there with the Shadow Swap. I saw him coming up, and I disrespected it there, so fair enough. Fact is, gold barriers are even. I was about to say, Crooked Rovers absolutely buys us the way in.
Throw off my groove.
Oh, so bad. Not bad. Johnson B. Oh! Why'd you pop a trap? Why'd you pop a trap? Rune already shadow swapped away, and then you just griefed her. Oh, jeez. Oh, well, it's fine. Fair, Rune did also just kind of kill me too, which is a bigger problem on hand. Well, this is just stats moment then. If I sent that down straight up, but it still kind of griefed both goal barriers hilariously anyways. Oh my goodness, we all sent it and we didn't get it. Oh, this is bad. Never mind, Rune missed his strike. It's all good. I missed my strike war. It's all bad. This is very bad, very bad, very, very bad.
Let's keep moving forward.
We're all good. Alright. Yeah, even if I'm not getting kills, once again, I'm getting stats, baby girl.
Right?
Mind gamed! Patience, mind gamed, it's gone, dude. It's gone. They don't have enough presence when it comes to it. And the problem is it's still grief! Why would you take that? Why would you take that? Like, you have decent kill pressure, you've gotten the kill on me once here now. But like, what have you been doing otherwise with it? That was actually just a grief of a send, I will admit there. Make sure it doesn't stay in the corner. And then yeah, just try to beat Rune on my mark. Nice banish, brother. Nice banish. Oh, come on! After all of that strife, and they even get a barrier off of that too. That's so annoying. Why don't you use burst? Come on, that's insult to injury. Now we're gonna lose. We're gonna reverse swept just because of that tempo. Oh, that's so bad. That's actually so bad for us now. Judo! That's rough. So 2 bursts on the table versus 1 when it comes to it here. I need to just offer my face. Oh, the idea was there! Execution was not! Good idea. Oh no, why are you there, Judo? Why are you at the bottom? Why are you at the bottom? Like, the core's up top. If it goes down to Rasmus, you can still cover it there. Ah, dude, the fact that I died there to Rune really blew things so badly out of the water for us, and now it's actually bad. Because now the reverse sweep can be here, because there's Monu, and then it can just go worse for us when it comes to it. That is Missile Propulsion when it comes to it. I am going to get Cast to Loss unless it still wants to deny it, in which case I'm just going to get Replicator, is my thought process then. No, I'm getting what I want. So that's fine. Because we absolutely have better tempo than them. It's just, when it comes to these weird scramble plays, positioning this week isn't coming out to be the best. Let's try something different when it comes to it then. Gruden got buffered on his banish, which is hilarious. Yeah, destroyed, nerd. Nice square one. It's down there, annoying. Love it. Nice, revenge. Lovely work. Keep the flow state going. Nice! Just simple Octavia play right there. You disrespected me that time, Rune, and for that, you die! Just solid, simple dribbling into Octavia gameplay. Good. That's what I'm just gonna play careful and safe, that way I don't immediately die. fact is, like, even if Rune has me staggered like this, I still have all of my cooldown. I'd say that's all of his cooldowns out when it comes to it. Even angle? Tried for it. Tried for it. Still got Yorb though, so I'm absolutely alive and living. Alright, now I'm dead to Rune. No, he got a bad grip. I'm gonna force this Stealth Burst out if it kills me! It didn't kill me, but I also didn't force the Stealth Burst out. Oh! Nice, 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 nice. The fact that I was just standing right there, so I ate a Stealth hit. Very, very good, very, very good. Great, great! Where's your followers now, you idiot? But I'm just trying to continue to be salty about it because, like, it's like, look, fairness plays, you're not always gonna get it, quite frankly. And you're seeing how that drown out can absolutely grief you. That's rough. Infinite NG hat though. Nice cooldown to still. Damn it. Huge. That's my orb still, though. That's my orb still. And I missed my close state. Alright, well, it's fine. Estelle's way out of position. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing, girl.
Just how
Yeah, that's absolutely me just getting to be just to live. And, well, Hubbard's Rune didn't pan out. And Octavia absolutely is great for Night Marches with how enclosed those angels are. So, tracked that up pretty well to me coming online, but absolutely, I think MVP goes out, in my opinion, to Kazan. He held the midfield line so much for me to actually be able to do all of that stuff. Because yeah, I got all of the goals, but I was only fed that test of Kazan. I think, in my opinion, he deserves that in my instead. Alright, I think that's pretty decent to go out on, quite frankly. Because I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I want to do my cosplay video editing work and everything like that or so. So, that'll be ending on a good note when it comes to it then. Let's see here. Yasuo's still playing themselves, so let's quite frankly go back to their end. Let's raid them back after doing,
Because we're genuine people, we're not trying to lie.
let's raid them back after they raided me. So, have a good night now, everybody. I'm going to send the raid message out.
If you're
Raid Meowzoe. So, wherever you are, wherever you may be, whether you're on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, or more, it's been your Wonderful Wind Mage, your Cruz Ship servant, Chartreuse Proxy, everyone always at your service now. Cruz Ship has landed. Proxy raid. If you really aren't subscribed to me, you can do so by using your Twitch Prime subscription or just by donating your hard-earned money straight over to me. It would be very much appreciated so you can use the raid message. Otherwise, I might have anime night for my arrows up tomorrow, so I'll see if I do want to stream then. At least for now, do give the love out. We got to, you know, we're going to get to send the love out right now to Meowzoe is the big thing, of course, when it comes to it. For the fact that they sent things over to me before. So yeah, and also we VOD reviewed them. Let's hit it, people.
Well, we're queuing up, so we'll once we get into a match then. So you mean you just showed up and you didn't get to